Hey, Trishna. You guys let me know if you can hear me okay, because I have this microphone here. I don't know if it's in range or not. Let me know if it's in range or not. Like, can you hear me okay right here? Should I, like, move closer or further away? Like, let me know what it sounds like. Hang on. Hang on. Sorry, I didn't know what he was gonna say, so I'm just like, wait, hang on. Like, fucking, like, do not fucking say anything that, like, Jesus, sometimes it's like, I guess I didn't let him know I was going live, so there's that too. It's my fault. I should have let people know. He's all, hang on, I just want to know. I'm like, well, wait. I'm a bitch. Okay, so, yeah, can you guys hear me? Can you hear me okay? You can hear me. It says audible. I'm like, do not. All right, so who wants to go first? We do have the first 3 people that are here. If you're new here, welcome. And you should know that there is this thing we do. If you are the first 3 people here, then you get a free reading. So we're going to do those first 3 first. And if you're not one of them, then better luck next time. But the information, actually, it might not be in the description this time. But how you do it is basically you just subscribe to the channel, the big red button below. Then next to that, there's this little bell icon. You click that, and there's 3 options. You click all. You select all out of those 3 options. And from that point on, if you have your notifications enabled for YouTube, then it will notify you every single time I go live, like right when I go live. And that's important because when that notification comes in, you just click it, and then you go to the live stream, and then you let us know in the chat that you're one of the first 3 people here, and then you'll get a free reading. So it's super easy to do, and it's every single time I go live, you can do it. So if you want a free reading, that's how you do it. So we're going to go ahead and go with the first 3 people, which is Sanch. Hey, Sanch, Trishna, and Ruxana. Hey, guys. Okay. So, Sanch, what is coming towards me and San's connection in the next 48 hours? I left him 6 days back. He messaged me yesterday. What is next? Okay. So let's see for Sanch here. $5 a pop tonight, you guys, except for these first 3 people. And thank you for liking this video and subscribing to the channel, you guys. I really appreciate it. So let's see here. Let's get some questions answered tonight about love, you guys. So Sanch here, you want to know what's going on in the next 48 hours with you and your man that you just left 6 days ago. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for that. Cool. Okay. So let's see here. Next 48 hours for Sanch and San or San. Next 48 hours. What is next? Okay. All right. Somebody did get left. They were obviously feeling abandoned. The Emperor. We have Aries here, and Aries possibly. If not, that's fine. Just, it doesn't have to be an Aries. I'm just letting you know that the Emperor does represent Aries, so there could be an Aries involved in the situation. But if not, we're talking more about somebody taking responsibility or somebody being responsible, somebody having a big responsibility on their shoulders, I guess you could say. And just handling it, they're basically just in charge of a lot of things, or they want to be in control of things. Like, it could be many different things, and we'll look into that. But for now, I just want to let you know, it could be an Aries person. It could be just somebody who is, like, wanting to be the one who calls the shots kind of thing, And then we have, okay, headed towards what? So maybe you were trying to make a point when you left the person. You were trying to kind of like make a point and, be strong in that point. You were trying to get them, Gemini and Cancer, cool, yeah. So no Aries there, but it's okay. So basically you were trying to make a point though. You're trying to stand strong in your in the point you were trying to make when you were leaving the person, is what I'm getting with this. So let's see what else is coming out. And it said it's headed in a certain direction. So let's see in the next 48 hours, what do we need to know about this connection? Okay. 3 of Cups. Okay. You could come together as maybe a friend type thing. It would be more of like a friendly thing instead of like a romance thing. Like maybe if you guys do communicate, it will be more on the level of like coming together and just seeing how you guys are. I feel like it maybe is a little too soon for that kind of like peaceful type communication, especially after what happened. But somebody definitely feels abandoned here. It could just be talking about you spending time with friends instead of, you know, doing anything with this connection, or them spending time with friends, you know, instead of doing anything with this connection with each other. Let's see what else here. King of Wands. So somebody is determined to go for this and to do something about it, but somebody else, it seems like this isn't ready to kind of take off yet. Like I don't think you guys will be really solving any issues here. Like there's a lot of fire here, there's a lot of like drive, but I don't see the drive to be solving the issue. It seems more like the drive, you said your best friends. Well, that makes sense because the 3 of Cups is all about good friends that actually care about you. You know, people that actually genuinely care about how you feel. So, I mean, if you guys are at that level and you're able to kind of communicate in that way, it's difficult after there's romance involved. But if there was never romance involved, then I could see more how that would make more sense there. So it does look like if that's the case, then you might be coming together here. But like I said, you know, if it's a romantic thing, I just don't see that being so soon. You know, you guys able to, unless you guys are that mature that you're able to come together and just be peaceful about it, then, you know, it's possible. The 3 of Cups is definitely about coming together as friends, like good, genuinely caring people, not just like acquaintances, you know? So let's see what else here. The Hanged Man. Somebody is not, they're just kind of sitting back and waiting for something to happen. They're sitting back and waiting. It's not like they're really taking action yet. So I feel like this is 2 sides of it. Because we have here, you know, the King of Wands, the 8 of Wands, and the Emperor. We have someone going towards something, a certain direction, and then we have somebody else who's like sitting back and waiting. Like, I will not make any moves. I'm just going to try to gather as much information as I can before I, you know, step forward into this and try to make any decision here. The Lovers. So I think somebody is a little bit like not so ready to do that yet, and the other person is so determined and ready. So let's see who's going to go towards who first. Like, what do you need to know most of all in this? Like, what do you need to be prepared for, if anything? Okay, it looks like it's one-sided here. It looks like there is like somebody's doing most of the work. Like somebody is putting out more effort than the other, and I would say that should try to get balanced before you do approach this, just because it's going to end up in the same situation. You know what I mean? Like there's going to be an argument about somebody doesn't care as much as the other person, or somebody's not putting out effort, or someone just doesn't really give a fuck as much, and it's hurtful. So I think that before this should really kind of like solve any issue, before you guys should make that next move, maybe you should try to decide if it's really worth it to you, because if it's you who's putting out most of the effort, you're going to end up feeling like it's not worth it to you because this person isn't really putting out the effort that you're putting out, and you're going to feel like you're extending too much, you know, to the situation. And I think it's just, it's not going to be a good vibe if it's that way. Right now, it's that way, and it says this is what you need to be prepared for. So I feel like this is something that you should really take a look at. Maybe this is you as the Hanged Man. Like, you're not really wanting to take action yet because you're like, I'm not really sure where we're at. Like, it seems like he's not really putting in as much effort or care as I am, and I just don't really want to risk that. That's what you need to be prepared for, is you putting out more effort than that person, you know? And the Tower. Yeah, the Tower. So obviously this is something this would be it would be a problem for you. You know, it would be something that would kind of make the whole situation have to drastically change or end. You would have to go through a lot here, because it would be kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back. It would be kind of like, okay, this is like, I'm done, you know, or something's got to give, and it's going to be everything, you know. 10 of Swords, 4 of Swords. Yeah, there's a break here. I think you guys are going to take a break. Somebody feels betrayed. Somebody feels like they are left out. You know, it could be because someone was abandoned. Like you said, you kind of left the person 6 days ago. They could be bitter about that. And maybe they're not going to take it in such a mature way. And maybe they're, you know, feeling like they were betrayed. And that's what they're going to say is, look, I feel like you left me and it was unfair. And so now I'm going to not, you know, I don't want anything to do with this. I want to take a break. You know, I see the 4 of Swords there. It's usually when the 4 of Swords comes out, it's all about breaks. It's all about a rest period. It's all about taking some distance. But most of the time, I mean, always, whenever I see the 4 of Swords, it's temporary. So I wouldn't say it's an ending for sure. But there's going to be some big changes there with the Tower. There's going to be a lot of changes that you guys experience while taking that rest from each other. And so, you know, who knows what's going to come about it, you know, after that rest period. But it looks like it will come back together because it's a temporary rest period. But I think if you guys do communicate in the next 48 hours, that's what it's going to be about, is like, look, we're going to take a break because when you left me, that was fucked up. And now I feel like I need some space. Like I kind of got some strength back in those however long 6 days that you know, left. I kind of got some power, some strength back. And now I need to kind of make some distance and figure out what I need to do. So that's what I see happening for that. That's what I would prepare for here. And it says, yeah, 2 of Wands, somebody's going to make a decision, very deliberate decision. Like, not even, I've already thought about it. I've already contemplated, and that's what I've decided I'm going to do. Like them saying, I'm going to take a break from you. That's the deliberate decision that they've contemplated for some time, and they don't need any more time to think about it. They've thought about it, and here's what it is. So that's what I see happening for you, Sanch, okay? So let's see. I'm good, Trishna. How are you? Anything I need to change to improve myself? Thanks, Trishna. Awesome question. Great question. Anything I need to change to improve myself? Well, I think it's a good thing you're asking that, because you're like self-aware, you know, you're not like, what needs to change around me so I'm happier? You're like, I'm willing to, you know, change something about myself. I'm willing to recognize that I have a lot to do with it, probably, you know. Okay. So the Wheel of Fortune came out, which is why I'm saying that's a good idea you asked that. The Hermit here, yeah, makes sense, because Virgo energy, but also, you know, talking about somebody kind of self-reflecting and taking and asking that question, basically, like, what do I need to change? What do I need to do? What is something about myself that can be improved so that my situation can improve? Like, very great question. We're definitely resonating with that energy right here. Okay, so let's see here. So yeah, it's saying self-reflection would be good. Isolation, like, don't be like asking for advice, even though you're asking for advice now. I mean, it's just, you're kind of on the right page with it, I feel like, already. Like, you don't really need to, like, whatever anyone else thinks doesn't really matter at this point. It really is something that you need to look within yourself and kind of figure out. Kind of talk to yourself and take that moment, take that step back, and just kind of, you know, journal if you have to. Like, definitely don't be all up in everyone else's business and trying to get people to tell you what you need to do, because you kind of already know the answer here. It's just like, you kind of have to like take some time by yourself and listen to what, you know, you're telling yourself, or like what the inside is telling you, trying to tell you. Just figure out what it's trying to say to you, because you have the answers already with the Hermit here. You just kind of need to like settle down, slow down, and listen to what you have to say. What is the best direction for you? Where do I need to go? What do I need to do? We have the Devil here. So there are temptations, distractions, things that are standing in the way. I mean, things that like you've allowed to stand in the way, things that have been tempting to you, things that were not easy to kind of just brush off, you know, these things kind of get in the way and make it harder. But the thing is, you know, we do have control over those things. It's just I'm just wanting to kind of touch on the fact that it's been difficult to control those things, you know, whatever those things are. And Eight of Wands. So yeah, this is headed in a certain direction. Like, it's not like, it's kind of almost like saying it's already written. I hate when people say that, but I mean, it's basically saying there's already a direction that this is going in. So we just need to figure out what that is. And maybe you already know yourself, but let's see if we can find out. The Hermit. So that's Virgo energy, the Devil's Capricorn energy, and we have Fire, the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. So basically, yeah, I think you're on the right track. Take some time by yourself, but also discover what it is that have been your triggers and have been your distractions. You know, that would be a really good idea, because these things have obviously played a role in the situation while you haven't gotten what you wanted. I think you've been kind of thinking a lot about those things and going off towards those things more than necessary and more than helpful to you. So let's see what those things are. What is the Devil representative of here? What's this toxic energy? Two of Wands. You need to make a fucking decision. I mean, there is something that is holding you back, and I think it's the fact that you're contemplating many different things. Maybe you're a bit indecisive. Like, should I study today, or should I just like kind of like do something else, do a study group? Or I know I'm not going to really get much done there, but it's kind of fun. Like, or should I just crack down? And but will I even do that if I do it by myself? Like, it's like you need to like have a way to like a plan, a structure, a routine, you know, something that's going to work, because what you've been doing obviously isn't working, right? And you've been distracted in your mind, you said. There's something that you need to work out here, but you need to make a decision on what that is. Ace of Cups. It could be something you need inspiration, or you need something to just, your emotions are not feeling at their best. Like, you'll have an opportunity to like feel it more inspired, or it's like you need to kind of, I don't want to say ignite the spark, because that's fire. But, you know, you need to kind of like get your, I don't know. You need to have your cup filled again, because you lack inspiration there. You lack motivation emotionally. You just don't see the need anymore. And it's kind of making you feel dull about it. Not really making you want to do much about it. Five of Wands. There could be some tension around you, like people around you. Maybe it's people you're studying with. Maybe it's people you live with. Maybe people are telling you that you can't accomplish things that you're trying to accomplish, and you just feel like discouraged. But there's a lack of passion. There's a lack of emotional passion in the situation. And it's like you need to figure out how to get away from these toxic people and these toxic tension. The tension that's around you, it's just not good. I feel like it's bringing you down a lot, obviously. Three of Wands. So it's basically looking back on the situation. You need to kind of figure out where, lack of discipline, you need to figure out where you kind of screwed up, like in your own opinion of the situation, you know, your own perspective. Like, you know, the things that need to be done, the things that need to be taken care of. And it's like, you need to start weeding those things out and start making a plan, start making a routine for which things are going to take priority. You know, which things are going to have to get out of here, you know, which things are going to have to be cut out, and start getting serious about making a plan towards that. So definitely need for self-reflection here. I think it's just a matter of you like writing it down and getting a plan going. Like, look, I know that on Wednesdays, if I go and do this like really late, I won't really do anything on Thursday. So I can't do that, because then Friday will be screwed up, and then I'll kind of miss like 3 days of studying. And, you know, it's just different things like that. Like, you just need to figure out what those things are, because these things can be overcome. The Devil is difficult to overcome. He's like, they're chained to him. So it's not just like, oh, whatever, you know, it's more than that, but still it is possible. Thank you. It is possible. And you just need to kind of, like you said, discipline. You need to discipline yourself. I can't really speak on that because I understand exactly how hard that is, but it's definitely something that you need to do yourself, and it is something that you can do yourself, but you need to make sure you're doing it, or it's not going to happen, you know? The Magician, I love how that comes out right now, because the Magician's there saying, look, you can make it happen, but it is up to you. And you have everything you need, too. It's not like you need to take a class on it. It's not like you need more tools or more skills. Like, you have what you need. which is awesome because all you need to do is apply those tools and those skills, and then you're good to go. So, I mean, really, it's just about kind of like you getting serious about this. And like I said, journal about it, make a game plan, write it down. And also, most importantly, get with yourself first about it, because that's what's coming out here with the Hermit. It's all about taking the time and just like self-reflecting, listening to yourself about it, listening to what you have to say and hearing yourself out. You have all the answers you need. Write them down and study those daily and just get on a routine with yourself, okay? You have all the answers you need there. Yep. And just kind of like redo your schedule, redo your routine. Figure out a way to kind of avoid those triggers, And I should do the same thing. Okay. Oksana, he wants to vacuum right now. It's like, yeah, it's a good idea. Will Wasim give me commitment? That's your question, Roxana. Will Wasim give me commitment? Well, let's see what he's planning on doing. Okay, so the next days, weeks, months, and year. What do we need to know about Wasim? And is he going to give you a commitment? Is he going to commit to you? What do we need to know? And when can we see change happening in regards to this? Whether or not we see him committing. First of all, do we see him committing anytime soon or at all in the near future to Roxana? Do we see commitment happening here? Page of Pentacles, it's possible. I feel like the Page of Pentacles definitely represents the beginning stages of a project or endeavor. And if we're talking about love, I suppose it would be something more committed or stable, structured. It wouldn't be something like that's short-lived, It seems like the beginning stages of some kind of commitment, some kind of project, some kind of thing you're dedicating yourself to, like that you have a responsibility over almost. So, I mean, the beginning stages of a project, it could be the beginning stages of something more long-term. It could even mean something that's a little immature. It could just mean the beginning. But let's see what we have. What else we have here? Tell me more about the commitment factor here, if we see this happening in the near future. Thanks for liking this video, you guys. I really appreciate it. And thanks for being the first 3 people here, you guys. That's why you're getting a free reading, because you were the first 3 people here. So I appreciate that. Welcome. If you're not here, or if this is your first time here, then the way to get a free reading, you guys, is to press subscribe first of all. And next to that, you see a little bell icon. And you just click that and then select all out of those 3 options that pop up. And if you have YouTube notifications enabled, then you'll get a notification every single time I go live. And when you get that notification, all you have to do is click into it and type in the chat box. Let us know you're the first one of the first 3 people here. And you'll get a free reading for that, okay? That's how you get a free reading, you guys. Other than that, it's $5 a question. We're answering questions about love tonight. So ask away. Let's do this. All the information for how to donate is in the description. Please like this video and don't forget to subscribe. It's the only way that you can message us tonight. So keep that in mind, okay? If it's not working for you, it's because you're not subscribed yet. Okay. So let's see here. Anything else we need to know for Wasim and Roxana? Okay. 6 of Swords. Interesting. 4 of Swords. There is going to be a rest period between you, actually. Before anything happens here, there will be a break, and it's bringing this up for a reason. I feel like it's almost saying that let me not jump to conclusions. Hang on a second. Because it's saying before anything happens here, somebody's going to either move away or they're going to make distance, maybe travel, and there's going to be a rest period between you. Like there's going to be distance between you. And I feel like it's saying before anything can take off, but let's see. It's Four of Pentacles. So somebody has to, I feel like maybe for a job or security, they have to save up money, or they have to move somewhere for the security of, you know, for their own security, for a job, or for making money of some sort, a foundation they're trying to build. Maybe it's cheaper in a different city, but somebody's moving away here. Somebody is making distance here and trying to build their foundation here. So I don't see any commitment happening, at least not anytime soon, but it looks like, is there still high-pitched whistling? But it looks like for now, this person's priority is basically their foundation and their stability. And it's looking like that's going to be, you know, having to take, it's going to have to take them away from where you guys are, or where they're from close to you now. It's going to be like they're moving away or something, or making distance. Okay, good. And will he commit after this? Like, how long? Do we see any commitment happening later on? Five of Wands. There is tension here. So there could be tension regarding the commitment issue. And then 10 of Wands. So it looks like somebody's putting out more effort than the other person. And obviously I feel like that's you, because you know, this person seems to be making distance and kind of focusing more on their priorities, while you are kind of pushing this commitment thing. And it just looks like that you're going to be wanting it more than they are, at least for right now. And there's going to be tension because of that, because maybe it's pushing them away a bit. You know, you're kind of, the tension is around the issue of commitment, and then you're wanting this more than them. So that only leads me to believe that you're kind of wanting it more than they are, and they're not really, it's kind of pushing them away a bit. So I don't see commitment on their side happening, at least in the cards here, as of right now. It's possible in the future, but for now, that's just what I see. It's not happening, and that you're wanting it more than them, and they're kind of like making distance and kind of pushing away more because of that, because of how much it's one-sided. You know what I mean? In such a way. So that's what I'm seeing for now. Sorry to say that, but that's just what the cards are showing me. That it's one-sided, and that they're making distance and focused on their priorities for now. So who knows if it ever will be committed. And maybe if you switched it up a little bit, maybe they would turn it back around. I mean, I don't know, but it's just saying that's kind of the case here today. That's what it's wanting to bring to our attention here. So, okay, thank you guys for those, for being the first three here. I appreciate that. And thanks for liking this video. Who are all the, you guys name what your sign is. What is your sign? Everyone put it in the chat box. I'll do it too. No problem, Roxana. You guys, what's your sign? Put it in the chat box. Scorpio, Capricorn, I'd love to do a reading for you. They are $5 a question tonight. So if you'd like one, all the information for how to donate is down below in the description box. Let's answer some questions about love. Of course, I'll answer questions about whatever you guys have questions about, but that's mainly what I'm focused on tonight, okay? Scorpio and Capricorn here, Virgo. But if you guys do want to get a free reading, all you have to do is subscribe and hit the notification little bell icon next to the subscribe button. And when you hit that, it'll give you 3 options. And if you select all, that means it'll notify you every single time I go live. And so the next time I go live, you'll get notified. And once you do, you just click into the notification, come into the live stream. And if you're one of the first 3 people to type in the chat box, then you will get a free reading. So that's how you get a free reading. So make sure you do that. Make sure you turn on notifications So that next time you get notified, you click into that. And if you're one of the first 3 people here, then you will get the free reading, okay? Hey! Oh, I just wanted to know what everyone's zodiac signs were. And to put it in the chat if you're interested in that. If you want to do it, join us. Do you have a question about love? Do you have a question about a person that you're interested in? What are you here for? What do you want to know? It's only $5 a question tonight, you guys. So let me know if you have a love question. I want to answer all your guys' love questions. I'm using these. I figured you were an Aries because your name. I didn't want to jump to conclusions, but I was pretty sure that was the case with your name there. Nice. So this is the cat. I forget what it's called. Yeah, well, yeah, cat tarot. My brother and his boyfriend gave it to me as a gift. So cute. I was like, that's so fitting for me. I don't know why I never thought of getting it for myself, but it's super cute. This isn't the only one I'll use tonight, but I'm just using it now because I don't think I've really used it much. Cute, huh? You guys can't really see it, huh? It's cute. Ah! I'd love to answer your question for you. Just look in the description for how to donate, okay? And I'll get right on to your question. We can do this right here, right now. So let me know when you guys are ready, okay? All right. Just showing you some of these cards. They're super cute. Queen of Swords. Judgment. Death. Look. That's okay. That's all right. Okay. No worries. That's another reason I was asking your guys' signs because, well, for a certain reason. But no one's here with that sign yet, so I can't really explain what I was trying to do. Virgo rising, nice. Nice. Really? Aries and Virgo. I don't know. No, I'm kidding. I used to have a friend that was an Aries, but I've only had one Aries friend. Well, that's not true, actually. I have 3 Aries friends, but 4 Aries friends, but it's not a frequent thing, you know? Like a lot of them I haven't seen in a while. You know what I mean? Like fire and earth. And it's not even just fire and earth. It's like Aries and Virgo. It's like, put a damper on your fucking fire, I'm sure, a lot of times. Because that's just how Virgos are. You know? And then you Aries are just fucking careless and reckless and fucking whoa. So, doesn't always vibe. That's okay, though. That's okay. We're out for a good time. Then we'll call Aries. Virgo and Cancer. Yeah, sometimes. It can work, you know. Boring, huh? And then Capricorns are just too intense, like the men. The men are just like kind of cold, and I don't know. That's my experience. Like, I don't know. It's kind of cool. You kind of have to have a mix of things. I mean, everyone has a mix of things, but I'm a Virgo with a Pisces moon, so it's kind of like opposite, you know, like it's not just like a Virgo, it's like a Virgo with a Pisces moon, which is opposite Virgo, so it's kind of different. But also at the same time, it's like if you can't just say Capricorn, like we're generalizing straight up, because it's so interesting, like when you look into people's charts and they have all these different things about them, you know, like because then it makes it interesting. Like to just be a Virgo is like, oh god, you know, like, but to be a Virgo and then with like a few other things makes it interesting. I don't like earth sign men, but Virgos are the most tolerable. Capricorns are very mean people. They're just they're focused on the goal, I think is what it is. They're focused on their next achievement, and they're not focused on relationships as much. They're not focused on like people as much as they are like material gain, you know, seemingly. Or like having that structure and that stability in their life. So it could come off as like disinterested. Your perfect match would be a Cancer Sun, Taurus, Moon, male. I don't really like Cancer dudes. I mean, Cancer dudes are alright. It's just, I'm more into attracting people that are like supposed to not be for me. Which is dumb, but I don't know. It's just more exciting, you know? Like I get bored with like earth signs because it's boring, you know? Like, my longest relationship was with an air sign, Aquarius, if you can believe that. Yeah. If you can believe that. They say that's like the most like unheard of couple. But it worked for 7 years, so I mean it did and it didn't, you know, but it did. Like, he was very interesting, very smart. And that's what I like a lot, is somebody who's smart, you know. So if you're smart, but interesting, you know, not like Virgo smart. It's boring. What are your guys' favorite sign? Yeah, it kind of was. It's just when you get to personal emotional issues is when it's difficult to communicate. But if it's just about intellectual subjects, yeah, Sagittarius are pretty cool. I mean, they're like pretty open, you know, to think, like they kind of make you feel like good about whatever the situation is. They're kind of like easy to be around, I feel like, you know, until you get to know them really well, then it can kind of get tough. But like at first, yeah, it's like they're super cool. A little bit, yeah, I can see that. Libra males are nice too. It's funny because Libras, like, I see it in Libra women. But in Libra men, I do not see it all. The part where they want to keep the harmony, keep the peace, not start an argument, like they just want things to be chill. I do not see that in Libra men. Libra men, they're always the ones picking fights. They're always the ones trying to have a debate. They're always the ones trying to like piss people off. I feel like the instigators, you know? That's what I see with Libra men so often. And it's so funny because I'm like, you're a Libra? Like, where the fuck is your harmony? Like, where the fuck is your, like, trying to, like, be fair and shit? Like, it seems like you're trying to piss people off and get a reaction. Like, that's just what I see in Libra men constantly. I don't even understand how that is a thing, but Libra women, I definitely see they're, like, definitely trying to keep the peace always, trying to, like, just, like, you know, do whatever needs to be done to, like, make sure things are calm and chill and, like, not a problem. Like, they're totally laid back. Yeah, I've seen that. That's what I think I've noticed. I like Pisces men, but mainly the February ones. The March Pisces are a different story. I love how you said that because I'm always asking people like, wait, you're an Aries? Like, what kind of Aries? Like, are you like a March Aries or an April Aries? Because there's a difference, right? There's a difference. I dated a March Pisces. He was pretty cool, but like Pisces are just kind of, you got to be careful with those ones, you know? You probably have met a lot of Libras with Aries in their chart. Maybe that is the case, huh? That could be. I didn't look at the other one. I've only looked at one of their charts, so I can't really, I don't remember there being much Aries. I don't remember, maybe there was. I really don't remember, so I can't say for sure. I know they had a Sagittarius descendant. Oh, Heather. Oh my goodness. I didn't get notified. Okay, let me check it really quick. Whenever this conversation's done. That was... Okay. Okay, hang on a second. Something went wrong on our end. What? Oh, that's nice. Conveniently, right now, that's what happened. Okay, cool. That's why it didn't notify me. I gotcha. Okay. Heather, did you put the question in here? Or I think you already did ask the question, didn't you? Yes, you did. Give me 1 second, Heather. Okay. All right. We're good to go. Heather, now, I'm sorry about that. I think you said something earlier, but I didn't get notified, so I was just thinking like you were just saying, and like I don't know that you were going to maybe, or I'm not sure. So I apologize for that. That was my technology fault. Okay. And we will get back to this conversation, but until then, just in life overall, I've been having a lot of spiritual activity in my house, not necessarily an uncomfortable thing. Just want to know any message overall that I might need to know. The fact that my daughter's arm was pulled and I physically seen something form throw me a bit. Okay, so here's the deal with this kind of a question. Like, I'm not a psychic medium, so I can't speak to like the other realms or any kind of like spirits. So I'm just letting you know now that like I can't literally channel into that kind of energy. So if that's something that you need specifically, then I really can't do anything to where I'd be able to talk to any spirits and tell you what they're saying or anything. But I mean, I can look at the cards and see what's there for sure. But I can't do any kind of like literally talking to whichever spirits are there. And I'm just being real with you, letting you know that now. Not going to bullshit you, you know. Some people can do that, and I don't feel that I can. I mean, I've never really tried to, but I don't tell people that I can because I can't, you know? So I'm just letting you know that ahead of time, okay? But let's see what we can figure out here. What does she need to know? What does she need to be prepared for? What does she need to understand about this spiritual activity in her house that she's been noticing? Anything she needs to know, anything she needs to be aware of, anything you want to bring to her attention specifically about this spiritual activity that's been in her house recently. Anything that she needs to know. Okay, we have the 10 of Wands. Okay. Maybe somebody making it more than it is, like giving it more power than it really has, like believing that it's there. I mean, you said you've seen it. I'm not trying to say you're full of shit or that you're really just paranoid, but it's saying it's one-sided, like it's somebody's putting in more effort than the other is. Someone's doing all the work here more than the other people or more than others in the situation. Maybe more work than necessary. I feel like it's saying kind of like giving it more power by feeding into it. But how could you not when it's like something kind of scary like that, you know? It's pulling your daughter's arm. You're like, I want to know what the fuck this is. I'm not going to act like it's not there, you know? Well, the first 3 people that are here, if you're one of the first 3 people here, then this goes for any single live that I do, any live from here on out ever that I do. And I've been doing it for a while too, but I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. This will go on as long as I know. That if you're one of the first 3 people here at the live stream, then you will get a free reading. So the way to do that is, first of all, to subscribe. And if you're messaging right now, then you're already subscribed, of course. But next to the subscribe button, the big red subscribe button, there's a little bell icon. And if you click that, there's 3 options that will come up. And you need to press all. And when you press all, what that will do is it will give you, it'll send you a notification every single time I go live. And when you get that notification, all you have to do is click into it. And when you get here, like the second I go live, when you get to the live stream, you just type into the chat, hey, I'm here. And if you're one of the first 3 people here, then you'll get a free reading. And that goes for every single live that I do. So if you want to get in on that, definitely check that out. Turn on the notifications, turn on all notifications, and get notified every single time I go live. And if you're one of the first 3 here, then you'll get a free reading. Okay? So that's how you get the free ones. But as for tonight, I'm actually doing them a little cheaper than I usually do, and it's $5 a question. So all the information is down below in the description, as always. So if you want to make a donation, you can do that. And that is all explained in the information below in the description box. And I'd really appreciate that if you did. We can answer your question, get it done right here, right now. I'm focused on love tonight, but really any question you have, as you can see, Heather is asking a question about something that's not related to love, and that's fine. So let's see, Heather. What does she need to know about the spiritual activity in her house? What do you want to bring to her attention about the spiritual activity in her house as of late? What do you want to bring to her attention about the spiritual activity in her house? What does she need to know about this? What do you want to bring to her attention? So far, we have the 10 of Wands. Thank you for your donation, by the way, Heather. I do appreciate that. Let's get some questions answered for you. Let's get this question answered for you. Let's see what's going on with the spiritual activity. What do you need to know most of all? First and foremost, what's the most important thing that she should know about this? Justice. Okay. I feel like that's saying you're giving, so it's saying the Ten of Wands and justice. To me, I feel like putting that together, the message that comes through to me is you're giving it more power than necessary, like you're giving it more than needed, but also like altogether it's kind of saying like there's a negative energy that's being placed on something, like you're giving it so much, you're feeding something with a lot of negative energy, or maybe in the past something was fed with a lot of negative energy, and that is what created this. Like it's like a negative, it's saying justice because it's saying like this is almost fair, or it's something that you kind of created, or it's something that, not to blame you, I'm just saying it's something, to me justice is saying like this is only fair, like this is like something that was produced by you or someone else in the house, or somebody, maybe a friend or someone, maybe you have a friend that's into witchcraft or something that shouldn't have ever even stepped foot in your house and you didn't know, and it's not your fault. But I mean, now it's just time to kind of clear the energy. I feel like that could be something that you should put your efforts into for sure, clearing the energy and like not putting negativity back into the house, like kind of being conscious of any negativity you're bringing to the house, any people you're allowing in the house, even of your daughter's friends, like their parents might have some weird, I don't know, energies going on. And it's just important to always clear that energy, whatever it is. You never know what people are involved with. Also, if you're bringing negativity, like or you and your husband or boyfriend, or if there's anyone, or just the way you talk to your daughter, and not even at all saying anything, I don't know your situation, but I'm just saying any kind of negative energy that could be changed or improved needs to be looked at. Okay, and then 7 of Swords. Okay, 7 of Swords. So somebody's kind of taken okay, hang on a second. Somebody could have, don't try to take the easy way out of this either. Like, actually thoroughly look into this. Like, any negative energy, take full responsibility. It's fine. It is what it is. It just needs to be changed and improved, right? So, I mean, 9 children. Holy fuck. So many children. Hanged Man and King of Wands. So before you take action here and really kind of like, put all your effort into this, I think it's important for you to take a step back and really kind of understand what's going on. Try to look at it and gather as much information as you can, because you don't want to jump to conclusions here. You don't want to jump the gun. I mean, something needs to be done, obviously, like ASAP, but I mean, I think it's important that you gather more information first. It says you have a desire to be enlightened and to understand what's really going on. Like, you don't want to just half-ass it. So don't. I mean, you got to really kind of look at it for the big picture that it is, all the details, but also the big picture. Like, you got to take some time to do this and actually look at it with a clear kind of view. Don't be feeling ashamed and then just like kind of skipping over that because it makes you feel shameful. It's like, no, like, okay, were you negative, or were you kind of like, you yell a lot, or you're negatively kind of feeding this negative energy, like who is at the house most often, and where is there not being attention, given to, and needs to be given attention, certain things like that. Like, there's just so many things that you can look at with this, but it's like any negative energy, any kind of negative influence there needs to be looked at and improved and cleared. There could be any kind of, anybody bringing it from anywhere. It could be anybody that comes to the house could be bringing it too. And so if it's a thing that's new, I would look into what's, changed recently. And definitely, like, if you don't have any idea, like, what the fuck it could be, I mean, just try to clear it out, just try to clear it, just try to get some sage or pray on it, in every corner, get that, get the sage going, get the windows open, every window, every door frame, just kind of like clear it out and pray on it, and say nothing's gonna, I release everything that's here that's negative, and I don't invite anything else that's anything but positive, just whatever prayer you want to use, but just clear it out and try to put like that protection there. Then we have the Six of Wands. Okay. So I definitely feel like before you take action towards this, it's something that needs to be looked at more carefully. And the fact that you're wanting to be enlightened, like you will take that step back and actually wait and see what it is that's actually going on. Like you're not just trying to half-ass it. That's going to do you wonders. But also then somebody's got to take it full force into consideration and actually take action and try to make these changes and try to keep these changes, you know? Not just like make them one time and then go back. Because it obviously will happen again. But I feel like it's something that definitely can be like overcome, changed, and improved. It doesn't seem like anything that big of a deal. I mean, to me, seems like it's something that can be improved here that you can probably do on your own. And with the help of everyone who's in the house, involved in the energies being, you know, tossed around and exchanged. Everyone needs to get closer and just come together and be more like present and understanding of each other and open to each other. Instead of negative, like if there's any hidden negative kind of influences, that's not good. There's a lot of people there, so I mean, I wouldn't doubt that that's a possibility, that there's things that are not known going on in some way, shape, or form. I do feel like somebody needs more attention. Like there needs to be more attention paid to something or someone, or maybe many people. And it could even just be bringing more attention to the positive energy that it needs to be like exchanged and shared, and the lack of negative energy. You know, like there needs to be a change in the attention somebody's getting, or the attention that certain things are getting. Certain like positive energy, negative energy. There needs to be more attention given to certain areas. What are those areas? Can we identify what those areas are, please? I do see a Libra here, just to let you know that sign's coming out. Three of Swords. Somebody's broken heart. Queen of Swords. Okay, somebody needs... Okay. Page of Swords. So there's something that happened recently to someone, or maybe many of you, or maybe all of you. You would know better than I do, but it's basically talking about loss. And it could be talking about... It could be... I just saw that CashApp come in, so just hang on 1 second. I will check that right now. It could be talking about loss, like death. It could be talking about a broken heart. It could be talking about just a, you know, painful situation in general where there was trauma or hurt. But somebody is responsible for this, and somebody needs to take responsibility for this, or it needs to be acknowledged that this happened. And because it's something that is not able to be let go of. And that's the thing here, is that the Page of Swords is talking about somebody trying to move forward, trying to put their best foot forward, but not really able to kind of actually do that because they still have that other set firmly in the past, not able to let something go, and it's holding them back. And the Three of Swords here tells me it's a broken heart, it's sadness, it's pain, depression, you know, and they're not able to let it go, and they'd like to, but I think somebody needs to take responsibility for whatever it is that happened first for them to be able to let it go, because somebody has not acknowledged or taken responsibility for their pain, or even made it like they haven't acknowledged it in a way that they could actually feel heard. So that needs to happen. That's the main thing here. There's someone's hurt here, and somebody isn't like allowing them to let it go because they're not giving them that chance, you know. And if it's a child, that makes a lot more sense, because with an adult, you know, adults don't always get the closure they want. With children, it's kind of your responsibility to give them that kind of, you know, space to feel how they feel, and for you to acknowledge if it's your, you know, responsibility, if it was your doing, and that you feel, you know, bad about that, and that you know, are apologetic about that, or however you would handle that, but, you know, acknowledge their pain, you know. It's probably me, because I felt so hurt by it. I had her at 17, she just lost it at 18. I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but if you know what I'm talking about and you know how it can be acknowledged, then that's a good thing. I mean, that's what you need to look at, because that's one of the things here for sure. We're talking about what areas need to be paid more attention to. And I feel like, it could even just be overall more than one thing or situation, but basically whatever situation is talking about the situation going with somebody feeling hurt and somebody not really owning that, like that they've done that or that they're responsible for it, or that they like not letting that person feel that and not giving that person that opportunity to really like grieve that. It makes it hard for the person to let it go. And so that negative energy is being, it's staying there, and it's not really able to be released. And that's maybe why your daughter's arm got pulled, because if it is about kind of what you're saying, maybe that has something to do with it, to get your attention, That's what I got here. So you said good perspective. Awesome. That means you understand, which is cool. So good. Cool. Thank you, Heather. Appreciate it. Okay, you guys. Okay. Novella Atwood. Okay. 11:02. Oh wow, it's been 8 minutes already. Jesus. Okay. Okay. Who's Novella? Is that Shaylee? Because then we also have Cool, which was, I know that we got that one on CashApp. Okay, Alani. Okay, Cool. Okay, so Shaylee, I'm guessing you are. Okay. So we'll go with Shaylee first, since she came in first. And thank you, guys. I appreciate your donations. Let's get your questions answered here. We're going to start with Shaylee, since she was first, and then we're going to go with Cool, okay? Can we please look into my love life for the next 3 months? Okay. Yes, we can. And you guys, please like this video when you get a chance. If you get a chance to do that, it just takes a second. It helps me out so much. It helps YouTube to see, like, okay, people are liking this, so I'm going to go ahead and show other people this. So it's very helpful to the channel. And thanks for your donations, of course. I really do appreciate those too. It shows me that you guys really do want these readings and like these readings, so that helps me to keep doing these readings, keep them going. Couldn't do it without you guys, so I mean, it's pretty much everything in this channel. So don't forget that. I haven't forgotten it. Okay. So let's see here. You said the next 3 months. Do you like this deck, or do you mind if I switch decks, or do you like this deck? Is this the deck you want me to use? It's really up to you. I mean, I can use it again. I was going to switch it up, but if you prefer it, then that's fine. Whichever you prefer, okay. Next 3 months love for Shaylee. We're looking at the next 3 months for love. Next 3 months for love. Next 3 months for love for Shaylee. Next 3 months for love for Shaylee. Next 3 months. What does she need to know about the next 3 months of her life? That's what Shaylee needs to know for the next 3 months regarding love. What should she be prepared for? Look out for. What do you want to bring to her attention about her love life for the next 3 months? Okay. 2 of Pentacles. You could be weighing your options on 2 different people. Knight of Cups. You could be, like, I feel like there's either a person who's offered you a connection and somebody you want to offer a connection. So you're like, kind of like, who should I go with? You know, like there's somebody that you like more, or it could be that 2 people are offering you a connection. But that's kind of the first thing I thought was, because you're weighing your options, but then there's somebody you do prefer giving your cup to, your emotions, your affection to. So I feel like there could be somebody else who wants you that you don't want as much as somebody else that you actually want. And you could be weighing your options on, and it says you know exactly what I'm talking about. The High Priestess here is saying that you feel intuitively what I'm explaining here, like you know the situation, or you know what I'm referring to, or you know. And like I always tell people, you know your life better than I do. So if there's something here that kind of makes sense, but you're like, nah, well, it's not really that. It's more that, I mean, just, you know what it's saying more than I do. And I'm just kind of putting the pieces together here, the messages. So if it's way off, of course, let me know. And we can kind of figure out where we went off track. But the High Priestess comes out saying, like, you get where I'm at with this. You get what it's referring to. So, Knight of Swords. It could be something shocking, unexpected here. Maybe this is what you don't see coming. 2 of Cups. Nice. That's what we want here, because you're wanting love in the next 3 months, right? You're wanting to know what's going to happen. 2 of Cups is beautiful. It's like a connection that is very, well, strong. You see 2 people kind of like on the same page, wanting the same things, likes, dislikes, goals, you know, plans. Where you're headed is the same. Like you want the same thing regarding marriage, children, whatever it is, however far it goes. You know, it's, hi, how are you? I'm great. Thanks for asking. I haven't seen you in forever. Damn. Well, I haven't been on here in forever, actually. That's my fault. But a lot of you haven't seen in forever. But thanks for asking. So yeah, that's what's kind of unexpected here too, because the Knight of Swords here is kind of like shocking, unexpected, kind of, you know, happening right around the corner. You don't really have time to prepare for it or put a stop to it or anything like that. It's kind of just something that you don't see coming. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's something that you just do not see coming, you know? And it's something that's really going to be a strong connection that you really don't see coming. It's like shocking. It's almost like, whoa, where did you come from? Like, when was this, you know, like, so if that happens, I'm telling you about it now, but it's just, I still wouldn't be surprised if you have no idea who it would be. And when that person comes around, you're like shocked. So it could be somebody that's not who you're thinking about now. You know, it could be a different person. Wouldn't be surprised if it was a different person. 6 of Swords. So there's you leaving something, you kind of making distance or traveling. The Fool. King of Wands. Yeah, so you meet this person, you feel very connected, and then you all of a sudden, like, everything is just, you know, you're not that you're completely careless, but you're just like gonna go for it, like, because the 2 of Cups is very connected. You're like, I mean, anything for love, you know, like anything. I'm just like, I want to go towards this person. I want to be with this person all the time. So I wouldn't be surprised if this person goes, oh, let's move, or let's go somewhere, come live with me or something, and you just are all for it, because the Fool here is like, I'm going to go for it. I'm just like, adventure time. Like, I'm just going to throw all my worries, all my cautions to the wind. And so be careful with that, because that's something that, you know, obviously everyone should be careful with. It's not like you don't know any better, but love is blind. And I mean, when we feel that connected to a person, we just kind of want to do anything they say because we feel so good in the energy. And it's not like they're necessarily trying to lead you astray or anything as of yet that I could see, but it's just saying basically that you're just going to go for it. You know, you're just going to be down and ready to go and travel and move and make distance away from where you live now, or kind of just like get away. And, you know, I feel like it has to do with either a move or a vacation, or, you know, just kind of making distance from wherever you're at now, like your hometown. traveling, moving, making distance, going somewhere else with them. And then it's saying like just kind of adventurously, impulsively, just kind of like just because, And then here we have the King of Wands too, which is even more so like, yeah, I'm just down. I'm determined to do this. Like I'm determined and I'm ready to just kind of like, you said, yes, I'm ready. Well, okay. Well, just be careful with that. Let's see if there's anything to worry about with this. See, I'm a Virgo. I just have to think, what is the fucking, I don't like telling people things that sound like it's too good to be true. I would just want to know what the reality of the situation is and what do we need to prepare for, if anything at all. Maybe I shouldn't put a damper on it, but, maybe I should just be realistic. I don't know, but that's what I feel like going towards, so let's do it. What else do we need to know? Is this a good decision on her part? Is this anything we need to know about or worry about or caution about? Or is this going to be a great experience? Like, what is she going to feel? That's why I like to ask too, is like, what are you going to feel? Like, put me in the energy of what you're going to feel when you do this. Like, and that will tell us whether or not you actually want to do it, because however you're going to feel in it is the best indication of if you want to do it, because, later on down the line, you're going to feel like shit. You're not going to want to do that, but if you do feel good later on down the line, then you're like, yeah, I'm going to go for it. That's kind of like you're telling yourself what you're going to feel best doing. So what is she going to feel if she goes towards this? When things settle down, what is she going to feel? Two of Swords. Ooh. Three of Wands. Okay. Four of Cups. Okay, you're going to feel like you didn't really have much of a say in it. Like your voice was kind of, like you didn't feel like you had much of a choice. And Three of Wands is all about looking back. So it's kind of like once everything's settled down, all the excitement from the newness of everything is kind of like settled down and cooled off. You think about the past and how in the past, like how everything has come to be. Like you're thinking about all of everything and all the events that have led up to this point now. And this point now is what you're thinking about. And in this point now, you're thinking about how all these events have led up to this point now. And what you're thinking is, wow, like I really didn't feel like I had much of a say, or I felt like I didn't really have much of a contribution in this decision. It kind of just was something that was thrust upon me and I went with it, but I didn't really decide myself. It was kind of just like decided for me. So then you have the Four of Cups, which is like a closed off energy, like a very like not giving or taking any offers, being very closed off to somebody or something or everybody basically. So why is that coming out here? That's 9. Hang on just a second. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's right. Okay. So now, there's a fear for some reason. There's a 9 of Wands. There's that closed off energy you feel, but then there's also the, there's also that fear. There's a fear for some reason. There's like a, You're on guard. You're on high alert. You're kind of wondering when something bad is going to happen. You kind of feel like something bad is going to happen. You don't know why, you don't know when, but you know it will. And you're kind of on high alert. You're just on guard all the time. What happened here? What changed? Why is this? What is there? Is there something to be worried about here for her? Why is she on high alert? What is the reason? Queen of Wands. So this person may be very independent and kind of just leaves you to figure it out on your own. Like maybe throughout the day they go to work or something and they're just like, figure it out yourself. Like, I gotta work, you know? Like they are a very self-motivated person, and maybe you kind of need somebody who's a bit more like involved in your life for you to feel okay, for you to feel like you can accomplish what you need to accomplish, you know, instead of feeling like you're just on your own. Like this person is very like independent and very just self-motivated. They don't need anybody to tell them how they need to do things. They just do what they need to do. And you feel like you need more of a person who's like involved in your life and kind of directing you and guiding you. And, you know, because this love here might be the first time you've ever felt this love possibly. Maybe it's a person that's older. Maybe it's a person that has their shit together a little more. And you kind of still need that person to kind of guide you, or that parental figure, or that person to kind of like help you to find your own way. And you're not so ready to just move away with this person, but that's what you do. And then you kind of regret it later because they're kind of so focused on their own shit. You kind of feel alone. You kind of feel like they're closed off from you, or like you close off from them because you feel disconnected from them. And you kind of feel like something bad's going to happen because you can't protect yourself, or you just don't have like that person there with you. You know, you don't have anyone there with you. So you start to feel kind of like afraid. And that's interesting. Let's see what else here. Is there anything to be afraid of? Like, does she have anything to fear, or is it just the loneliness that she is afraid of being alone? Nine of Cups. I also have the King of Swords down here, and I feel like that could be because this person is kind of like very cold in communication, and they're not very like loving. They're very cold and just facts calculated, just kind of like distant and not very like lovey. They're kind of just like cut and dry, and it doesn't feel like you're connected so much anymore, you know? And that's something that can be like discouraging, of course, but there's something that you can't let go of either. And maybe it's that. Maybe it's the fact that from the past, because it's something you can't let go of, something that you, you know, something that you were kind of like something that you, it was something that happened, and now it's something that you can't forget about. And I feel like that's probably having to do with so much that in the beginning that they were not this way, and now they are. And so you're like, you're not able to get past that. You're not able to forget about that. And you shouldn't forget about that, because that's kind of the reason you fell for them, is that they were so loving and kind and caring and just so connected with you. And now that you're with them here in this place, you're like not feeling that connection anymore. And they're kind of on their own. They're off doing their own thing, and they're just expecting you to do the same, and you don't feel connected, and they just don't know or even realize or care enough to, I mean, maybe that's just not the way they are, but they just sure as fuck were like that in the beginning to get you there, and now they're not. And maybe they don't, I'm not just accusing them of being like they meant to do that. I mean, maybe they had no idea that they're doing that, but I mean, try as you may to bring it to their attention, it's just not working. Like, they just aren't understanding. They don't get it. It's not coming through. So you're feeling disconnected from them now. And they're coming off as a cold, distant person who doesn't really, who isn't able to really be there in the way that you need. So that's uncomfortable. And then I feel like here it could end because of that, or there's a drastic change, or maybe that's the drastic change basically, is that they changed, you know. And will they take responsibility for it? You're wanting them to. Let's see if that happens. Temperance. Well, for the sake of the harmony in the situation, they might. Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Cups. Okay, so that's good. So you're wanting them to take responsibility, the Queen of Swords here. And we have the King of Swords too. So Queen of Swords, that's, you know, somebody like, let's, you know, you need to take responsibility for this. You're asking somebody to own up. And then Temperance tells me that basically for the harmony, for the peace and harmony of the whole situation, that is very possible. Like, if this is what it needs to, if this is what it's going to take for there to be harmony and peace in the situation, then that's very possible. Ace of Cups here shows that it's, you know, to provide love and to keep the love going. Like, because you guys are in love, that should be enough for them to kind of wake up to this. And then the Wheel of Fortune. So obviously that's a good thing. So I would say all you really need to do is bring it to their attention, but it's hard for me to believe that you wouldn't have brought it to their attention in some way, shape, or form before this. But if you never have, at that time, if you realize, like, I never really have told them how I felt, then maybe it's time to do that, and then maybe we'll see some changes here. It looks like that should be enough to wake them up to this, like, realization that they are being cold, distant, and not really how they used to be. And hopefully that's enough for them to kind of, like, be how they used to be and realize what they're doing and kind of, like, get back to how they really are. But we will see at that time, I suppose. I mean, it's up to you what you want to do. I just think that it looks like it should be enough to get them to wake up. But realistically, it's hard for me to believe that that is the case exactly for some reason. And I don't want to freak you out, but I mean, that's what the cards are showing. So, I mean, and it looks promising. Like, it looks like, you know, Ace of Cups, that's all about you guys have this connection. So that should be enough for you guys. That's what it is between you. So obviously, you know, with the Temperance card there, trying to make harmony, trying to make peace, trying to make a good, like, smooth, calm situation, make everything work out for the best and go well and be positive, you know, because of the Ace of Cups, then it looks like that should be enough for them to kind of, like, remember the love that you guys have and then kind of, like, be the person that you need them to be, like how they used to be. So that's what I'm seeing for that. And so, if you ever just get to that point where you feel like, I'm really not happy and I'm feeling this fear, you need to let the person know, like, sooner than later, so that they can kind of do something about it. And if they don't, then of course at that time you have to choose what you have to do about that. But you know your voice is not being heard. But if you don't speak your voice, I think it's safe to say this person doesn't really know. They don't really hear what you're not saying, you know? So you need to look at that as well if that does come up for you, okay, with this person. And what was the other question? Cool. What is my intuition trying to tell me about the person I have a crush on for Cool? This is for Cool. If it helps the channeling, new deck, please. What do my guys want me to know about my current crush, Aquarius? Okay, cool. Just read that. Gotcha. New deck. Okay, cool. I'm just going to make sure they're all upright here. All right. No problem, Shaylee, of course. Of course. And then Alani, Libra. What do my guides want me to know about my current crush, Aaron, Aquarius? What does Alani need to know about her new crush, who is an Aquarius? Does Alani need to know she's a Libra? She's a Libra and she wants to know what she needs to know. Or what do her guides want to bring to her attention about her new Aquarius crush, Aaron? What does Alani need to know about Aaron? She's a Libra, he's an Aquarius. What does she need to know about Aaron? What should she know? What do you bring to her attention about Aaron, please? Temperance. We have Sagittarius here, but also representative of somebody who's trying to keep the peace, keep the harmony. Like, things should be harmonious between you, or maybe it's well, we'll look into it, what exactly it's saying, but it's kind of talking to me about, like, you know, nothing to really worry about as of yet. It seems like it should be somewhat of a peaceful union, or that you guys will be able to kind of come back and keep that peace if there are issues. But let's see what it's really saying exactly. Four Swords, rest period. So tell me more about this Aquarius person, Aaron, for Alani here. What does Alani need to know about this Aquarius person, Aaron? What is the energy that she needs to know about this Aquarius person? Give me the energy of this Aquarius person, please. Okay. First of all, yes. Okay. First of all, there's a conflicting back and forth kind of energy to me, because it seems like, you know, in order to keep the peace, sometimes you guys might have to take a step back and take a rest between each other, make some distance. Like, don't be all up in each other's face. It's a good idea to take a break every now and then and just kind of like get some distance to keep, in order to keep the peace. Like, don't spend every fucking minute together. That's the main thing. And it looks like it could be like a past life type connection. If you don't believe in past lives, that's fine. No worries. It's just basically meaning that it feels very connected and familiar. It feels like you've known the person before. If you haven't known them very long, it feels like you've known them a long time. And what that means is, like, basically you just feel very comfortable with them. So you feel very comfortable with the person, like you've known them for a long ass time. Like, it's just a familiar energy you feel good in. But at the same time, it feels like it's smothered and trapped. Like, you feel like you don't really have a way out. Like, it almost feels like smothering, you know, even though it feels familiar. It could be familiar because it's smothering, and maybe you're used to some kind of smothering energy as you grew up or something, to where maybe that's why it feels familiar. So it's something that feels familiar, but it's something that doesn't really feel good all the time. Like, it's something that kind of feels bad, but you're used to it. So it's comfortable, but at the same time you don't really like that part of it. You know what I'm saying? So your desire is to basically break free. It could be their desire as well. I mean, we can look into this Queen of Wands here. But somebody's desire is to kind of break free and be on their own and kind of be able to do their own thing. But it's such a familiar feeling. And that could be what's toxic about it. That keeps you guys together and so connected, because it feels so familiar. And like past life, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it feels like you kind of need each other. Like, not that you need each other, because that's not what I'm getting here. But it's like you guys have known each other for so long almost that you just don't want to like end it. Like, when things go bad, you are drawn back to each other, because you just, almost as if you've known each other a long time. Like, you wouldn't just, if you've known somebody for so long, I mean, if you get in an argument or some kind of like issue where there's a bit of tension, you don't just like, fuck you and I'm never going to speak to you again. I mean, you come back to each other at some point and kind of like just forget about it or get over it or make up somehow. That's what it feels like here. Like, no matter what the situation is, it's like you will always try to come back and create the peace and create the harmony between you guys, because it just feels like it just feels like that's what you want to do. I mean, it's just, that's what you end up doing, and that's what you feel is the best decision. Like, you don't want to just end it. You never feel like it's worth it enough to just end it. But at the same time, it feels kind of toxic. So you're kind of trying to break free of that. Let's see what this Queen of Wands is all about here. What is this representative of here? Queen of Cups. Page of Pentacles. So you wish for there to be, this person could have grown up with a person, this could have been like, this could be their energy. Yeah. So I think this person and you both wish to have a connection like this, but it's almost like it's just out of reach. Like, you just haven't been able to really get the connection that you want. And it's like you want something nurturing, and you want someone who's authoritative as well. Like, you want someone who can stand up on their own and be their own person, but you also want a person that's there and nurturing. It's like you're not asking too much, but at the same time, it's like you're asking for the perfect person. You want a person who can take care of themselves and not need you, but you want a person that you feel like needs you. But then if they need you too much, you're not attracted to that. You don't want that. You want somebody who's independent. But if someone's too independent, then you feel like you don't have them. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like this conflicting thing. It's like, what do you really want? I mean, and then we have this non-committal card here. So that could be why it's not happening, because somebody's really not committed to either side of that. It is the beginning stages of like, somebody's not committed to being there full time, and then somebody's really not committed to like being on their own full time. So it's kind of like you guys both have these issues here that are difficult to overcome. I mean, it's like either you're able to be on your own or you're not, but you don't want to feel like they can be on your own because then you feel like they don't need you. But then if you feel like they need you, then you feel like they can't be on their own, and you don't want either of those, like to their fullest degree. And we have the beginning stages of a project here, so it's almost like you guys need to make up your mind. Like, I feel like you guys are both almost in the same boat in regards to, like, you need to make up your mind of what you really want. Beginning stages of a project tells me that this is something that's getting off the ground and that could begin. What will happen as time goes on? Like, it's like you guys both, it's like a young energy that you guys haven't figured yourselves out yet. Although it doesn't have to mean that you're young. I mean, people that are older have these issues too. It's just that it seems like you guys just don't even know what you want yet, but you know what you want, but you can't really ask for that, because if you get that, then that's not what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one's just able to be like, yeah, I want you and I feel like I need you, but I don't want you to know that, because then I know you're not going to be into that. But I don't need you. I can be on my own. I don't need you. But then, like, if I say that, then you're going to feel like I can leave you at any time and it doesn't matter, and I don't want that. It's just kind of like immature in a way. It's insecure, that's for sure. It's not secure. Like, somebody cannot stand on their own. They can feel good about that. It's like you guys already kind of need each other and you don't like that, but then you also need that. Like, it's just kind of all over the place here, but it's the beginning stages of a project, so I feel like that's definitely something that is going to start. Like, what I could say that you need to know is that you guys are both mixed in your emotions, and you both don't really know what you want in a relationship, and I don't even know if you guys are ready for a serious one. And it might be more harm than good, but let's see what this beginning stages of this project look like. Okay, so yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, somebody needs to go off on their own for a little while and figure themselves out emotionally, because there's something missing here. Emotionally, there's something missing, and this probably goes for the both of you. There's something missing here emotionally, this cup here that's missing, and you need to take some time on your own, go off into the mountains. It's called a solo journey, and figure out what it is that you actually need to fill that cup, to feel whole, so that you don't need another person to make yourself feel whole, because that's never going to work, Oftentimes people will try to look outside of themselves to fill whatever void that is that they feel is missing there, and it never works, so you kind of have to look within, and it's probably best to do that when you're single and not with somebody else, because it's just an ugly mess if you're with somebody else trying to figure yourself out. It really is. I mean, when you have something missing like that, if that person can't fulfill it, which they can't, by the way, then it's not going to be cute. You know what I mean? Because you're going to hope that they can fulfill it. They're not going to be able to. You're going to blame them, and you're going to think it's their fault. And you're never going to grow that way, and you're not going to ever fill that void. But a lot of people do that. I do that. We all do that. But I'm just saying that you shouldn't do that. Probably shouldn't get involved with this person yet. Yeah. Ace of Pentacles. And it's saying basically focus on your stability first. I think this can come back around. Like, if you did want to take some time with this and kind of get some therapy, or, take some time, like, do some shrooms and have a situation, like, have a experience, out of body experience, and kind of like figure out what's going on inside. It's kind of like you guys both need to, like, do some heavy figuring out of yourselves before you get into a serious relationship, because it could be something that's structured. Like, I do see the Ace of Pentacles, which shows the opportunity for a stable, structured, long-term connection, like, that's stable and committed. But the thing is, that's after the solo journey happens. Like, there's a reason this came out first, and that's because that needs to happen first. But then you guys are focused on your material, your, whatever it is that makes you feel safe. The King of Pentacles is all about material items, though. So I'm guessing you guys are both that way. Like, if you have a house and you have money and stuff like that, then you feel like more stable and structured, which most people do. But I feel like that's what needs to happen first, and then you guys have that opportunity to create something more long lasting. But until then, it's gonna be a mess, And that's what you need to know, basically, is that you guys are both a mess right now emotionally, and I don't think that either of you are probably ready for a serious relationship. And you guys are going to confuse the fuck out of each other. Like, you both want each other. You both want to feel like you need each other, but you don't want to know that you don't really want that person to need you. You want that person to be able to stand on their own. But then if you feel like they can stand on their own, then you're going to feel like they don't need you, and you don't want that either, because you want them to kind of need you. It's really just kind of insecure is what I'm feeling about that. You know, it's like kind of just, it's like you guys are sending each other, but I feel like you guys are in the same boat in that regard, you know? You're like, yeah, I felt that. So, I mean, if you guys can get on some kind of like understanding of each other and be just completely blunt and honest, I mean, it's possible, but I just don't see how people could be completely blunt and honest about that kind of a insecurity, you know? Because I don't think people are really ever completely blunt and honest about that kind of an insecure thing that they have going on there. But that's basically like what you need to know. You guys are in the same boat in that regard, and there's something missing between the both of you. There's something missing inside that you need to figure out before you get into a serious relationship, or it's going to be messy. But if you go towards it, then that's on you. But I feel like it definitely can. And look, right now too, the star, that's Aquarius actually too, but that represents like positivity and hope and faith. But I think, and I was just going to say, I think that you guys actually can have like a better relationship if you give it a little bit of time and figure yourselves out first, like discover yourselves and your issues within without each other being involved, and actually kind of get right with yourself in that regard. And then I think there's a way better chance of it working out. But other than that, I think there's just a lot to learn about yourselves in general before you kind of get into that serious relationship and add somebody else to the mix. But it's on you what you decide to do with that. I'm just giving you a little information I'm seeing here with the cards, but it looks like, yeah, it's definitely a little messy if you do it now, but it is up to you what you do. So there's some issues that need to be worked out for sure, and adding each other to that mix might be kind of messier than needed, but might prevent growth that could be happening. But that is what I see for that. So good luck with that. Mm. Nice. It's only 11:44. Yeah, no problem. Cool. No problem. Hi, Shirley. What are you sighing about? Buzz. Okay. These cards are so old. They're hard to shuffle now. I have to get a new deck because these are kind of... I love this deck. It's just... I think it's worth getting again. It has really great clear pictures. So I got it. Borderless. I love it. But it's getting old. It's getting too old. Seven of Swords keeps coming out. That's not good. Tell me more about that. Tell me why that keeps coming out. I can already see what's going to happen with that. I mean, I don't really need to ask. I just need to accept and realize. Yeah, of course. Definitely still taking questions. Let's go. Yes, I am. Okay. Love to answer your question for you, of course. Just let me know whenever you're ready. That's all. Okay. Okay. So go ahead and post your question, unless you posted it in this. Let me check really quick for you. If you didn't, and you know you already didn't, then go ahead and just post it right here in the chat for me. Yeah, you didn't. So just go ahead and post your question in the chat, and I'll get started on that right away for you. Thank you, by the way. Let's get this question answered. Let's do it. I'm excited to do this. I've only answered like 4 questions tonight, I think, so. Still got my energy. I don't know if you've seen before, if you've been here many times before. You have, though, because I remember you. And you see how, like, sometimes I can get, like, lose my energy after I do a lot of readings, but tonight it hasn't been too many, so still got most of my energy. Which is good, because then I don't have to cut out early. So I've definitely done that before. So let me know whenever you're ready. Put your question down, and I will get ready to answer it for you, okay? Thank you again for your donation. Is this love related, or is this something else? I'm antsy. I'm waiting for your question. Post it. Post it. Post your question, dog. I'm antsy. Some people. Not you. Just some people. Just some people. Oh my god. Oh, great. That's started, not straighted. Obviously. Just in case it wasn't obvious. Is there someone coming into my life? So you're talking about romantic, right? In regards to love. Okay, yes. Perfect. That's what I assumed. So let's look into that. Perfect. Cool. Let's look into that. So I'm going to start off with my giant rider weight, and then let me get this all upright. First, I should have been doing that already, but I thought I was going to be using a different deck right now. But now I'm feeling the vibe on this one again. So let's see. If you want to know if there's anyone coming into Lesego's life, anyone coming into their life soon, the next person coming into their life, what do we need to know about anyone coming into their life romantically, or a relationship or some kind of romance here? What do we need to know here for Lesego? Anyone coming into their life romantically, the next days, weeks, months, and year. Bring this person forth to our attention into the energetic vibe so we can explain and express this to Lesego so they can be ready, prepared, and that they can know who this person is when they see them. Okay, let's see who this person would be if this person comes through. Is there anyone coming through in regards to love for Lesego? Anyone coming through in regards to love the next days, weeks, months, and year? Looks like an Aries person is possible. Got the Aries card here, the Emperor. So it's possible Aries person, or a person who basically likes to call the shots, a person who likes to be in charge, a person who likes to take the lead, a person who likes to be in control, or, be the one who calls the shots, basically. You could be an Aries too. It's a person who's responsible too, has a lot of responsibilities, like to take care of and to handle. Whether or not they are taking care of those responsibilities is a different story, but it looks like that's the whole essence of who they are. So that's what I'm getting, first of all. Lesego, anyone coming in for them romantically the next days, weeks, months, and year for Lesego. Anyone coming in romantically, please? Oh! Bada boom. Okay. Two of Cups is a beautiful card to get because, first of all, we're talking about a connection. Like, not even just a connection, but these two right here, this is the best card you can get, I think, for love, because these two are very connected in the sense that they're holding this cup there. They're both holding a cup, and they're looking at each other, like they're looking almost through each other. They're looking directly at each other's eyes. Like, it's balanced, it's equal. There's no power trip. There's no imbalance of power. There's no, like, they're on the same level. There's respect, there's equality, there's actual, respect, and it's equal. It's not like anybody's trying to, overpower the other or try to be better than the other or tell the other what to do. Like, it's just a very respectful, loving, it's actual, consideration for each other. And also they're on the same level in the sense that they're on the same page. They have the same goals, likes, dislikes. They are going the same direction. You said you're an Aries. Oh, nice. So they're going the same direction and they want the same things and they're on the same level. So that's good. That even adds more to the connection because that means just like they're on the same page and they're on the same track. And, it's just that they're connected, like they want the same things. They're going towards the same things. They like each other that much and they really respect each other. And it's just a very strong bond here we see. So yeah, I definitely feel like there's definitely somebody coming in here. So let's see more about this person. Is it an Aries or is that them who's the Aries who is having this connection come in? Or is that just the energy of the person? Interesting. Tell me about this person coming in here. Three of Cups, it could be a friend, actually, that maybe you've never dated before. Maybe you've never looked at in that way, or maybe you've never actually tried it out in that way with that person, you know? But it seems like a good, genuine friend. It could even be with the Three of Cups here. I feel like a mutual friend. Like a friend of a friend that introduces you to a friend, you know, like you know them through a friend. Because the Three of Cups is about like good, genuine people that actually care about you. Like I know it looks like drinking buddies, but looks like drinking buddies and all, but it's not. It's not about drinking buddies. It's not acquaintances, you know, it's not like bar hopping friends. It's like actual people that genuinely care that you can go to and express yourself, and you know that you can actually open up to these people because they give a fuck, you know? They're not just like, oh, whatever, you know, like shut up, like who cares what you think, you know, like just get over it. I'm trying to have a good time and not talk about feelings. Like you can talk to these people, you can really open up. So that's why it's like a good friend, and it could be a good friend's friend that introduces you, that you know you get introduced to this person through. So it could be a mutual friend that is this person that you get connected to, or it could even be one of your friends that you just never thought of in that way. Okay, Virgo we have here, which I highly doubt, but I'm just kidding. No, but Virgo here, so it could be, okay, let's just see what else comes out here. It could be a Virgo person. I mean, it's not like impossible for that to happen. I just, you know, stranger things have happened, I guess. Aquarius and Virgo is pretty fucking strange, and that happened, so I guess Aries and Virgo could happen. But I feel like it's more an energetic thing here, because we're talking here about, like, Aries and Virgo, and that's, I just don't see, I don't know, but we'll see. So it does look like, thank you, Gabrielle. I will take a look at that in a second, and right after this one, I'll do yours, okay? So just sit tight, okay? Thank you. So, it looks like somebody's offering some kind of stability here, some kind of stable connection structure. Like they're serious, you know, they want to provide some kind of stability. Like they're not just like, let's go run away together. They're like, no, well, look, like, you know, I have a job, you have a job, and we have like, you know, we want the same things. This seems like a reasonable thing to do. You know, it's like they're offering some kind of stability. It's not like they're offering like a dream fairy tale. I mean, it's realistic, you know. They have something to offer that can be built upon. So it's not just like a dream fairy tale type thing. It's like actually this could happen, you know. But it looks like somebody is putting out more effort than the other person, and that's very much felt. Like it's very much apparent that that is an issue. You know, one person's carrying all the weight, you could say, and then one person feels abandoned, because it's probably this person that's carrying all the weight, right? Because they're feeling like, fuck, I mean, you kind of just left me here to deal with all of this. And if this is an Aries Virgo connection, then you best believe that it's fucking Virgo feeling like that. I hate to say that, but you know, Aries does do the most, but Virgos are going to be doing, they're going to be considering more. And I just don't, I mean, I'm generalizing, but when you look at that, if that is the case between Aries and Virgo, you wouldn't see an Aries doing the most and the Virgo not doing the same. I mean, you don't see a Virgo disregarding that, you know, and you see more of an Aries maybe not even realizing that they're disregarding it because they're just off in their own world doing their own thing, but that is what they are doing. And then the Virgo's like, okay, just to, you know, catch you up on my vibe with that. But so this can be a structured thing, but then somebody kind of gets carried away. I feel like the Aries maybe starts to get concerned with their own shit a little bit more than the relationship itself. Or it's saying that somebody needs to self-reflect a little bit, because here with the Hermit, that could be what it's talking about too. Like somebody needs to do a little isolation and self-reflection and realize what they're doing in a situation, or realize maybe they don't have all of this to offer, or if they do feel like they have that to offer, then is it realistic for the other person? Like, are you guys really all that connected? Let me see what happens with because you guys are both trying to build this foundation here. So there's just somebody who needs somebody to put in a little more effort, or if the person doesn't know that they're not, like they feel like they're putting in enough effort, then, you know, it could be something in regards to maybe you guys need to have a little bit more of open communication, because somebody just does not feel like the other person's putting in as much effort, and the other person doesn't even think that. They're like, I'm putting in effort. What are you talking about? So I think you guys just need to kind of like get on the same vibe in that regard. Like there's just kind of miscommunication, or maybe expectations that aren't being met, that aren't being laid out either. So that's where it's difficult, because then it's like you guys aren't saying what you need, and then the other person doesn't know, you know? So how could they know if you don't say? They can't. So let's see what the real... Okay, thanks so much. Yeah, I'll check that out right now, okay? And we'll get to you guys in a second, okay? Thank you. So, But let's see what else, if there's any other issues here that we need to focus on in regards to this, because it looks like just the main issue is somebody is putting out more effort than the other person. And I think really what's going on is somebody is putting out more effort is what they feel. Like one person thinks they're putting out more effort than the other, but the other person doesn't see it that way. They just think, what are you talking about? Like, we're both, it's fine, you know, like you're tripping. Or they just don't really think about it at all because they don't realize that that's what you're thinking. So I think first and foremost, communication needs to be a major factor in this, like it needs to be the most important thing so that you can avoid these little issues, and like so that everybody knows what the issues are instead of just not even knowing what the issues are at all, and then being like, how could you not realize this? And then being like, well, you didn't say anything. Like, what are you talking about? You know? Tower. Yeah. I think that's a really good word of advice for this, is what I just said, was that communication needs to be key here, because the fact that I say that and then I'm like, okay, what other issues do we have? Boom, the tower comes out. It's like, I think that is the issue. That is the main issue that needs to like be addressed to avoid all of these other issues, to avoid any issues. Not that there won't be issues at all, but it's like, I think that's the main issue, is that you guys are not seeing, like, you guys are connected and on the same level, but when it comes to deeper shit, I think the Aries person, just like generalizing with Aries and Virgo, I think Aries is just so like self-focused and they just do things their own way that they don't realize that they are like not putting an effort where you need them to put an effort. They just think like, you have your shit together and so do I. We take care of ourselves and like we take care of each other too, but like that's separate, or like that's just, they don't even think that they're not there for you enough. They think that everything's cool. So I think in regards to that, that's something that needs to be communicated like ahead of time so that it doesn't hurt and doesn't feel like you're left out in the cold and in the dust. So if you need something more from the Aries, you need to let the Aries know, because the Aries has no fucking idea that you are even feeling like you're the only one putting an effort. They're like, what are you talking about? They just don't even realize that you're feeling that way because they don't pick up on the fact that you like need them more than you're saying. So you need to tell them, you need to say it, and you need to be clear on it so that they know. I think that's the main issue, is communication here for that situation. Hopefully that resonates and makes sense for you. That's what I would look for in regards to the future. Anything coming up for you, okay? Lest I go. And you're the Aries in that, so I would be careful. I'd watch out. I'd take that advice and just try to, read between the lines a little bit with a Virgo. If it is a Virgo, or maybe you need to self-reflect a little bit. Look into this a little bit more. Try to see like, they seem like they're unhappy. Why would that be? Like, is there something that you're not saying? Or like, I don't get it. Is there some way you're feeling that you're not saying? Because I feel like something's off, but you're saying you're fine. Like, I don't believe you. What is it? Like, because you just say it, please, because I'm an Aries and I need you to be clear. I need you to be direct, because I can't read your mind, and that's unfair for me to expect me to, It's like you're going to be mad at me later, so you might as well just say it now so I can know. Mm-hmm. Please see if there is any messages for me regarding somebody. I lost. Okay, Samuel, so just let you know ahead of time, I'm not a psychic medium, so I literally, I've never tried it before, but I know personally I just can't speak to anybody who's already passed. So if that's something that you need for sure, like you need me to connect with somebody that's already passed, I cannot do that for you, and I'm so sorry to say that. But, if you want me to look into the cards a little bit and see what comes out for you in regards to that situation, of course we can do that. But I'm just letting you know ahead of time that I'm not a psychic medium, so I cannot talk to somebody who's already passed. So I just want to let you know ahead of time. If that's okay with you, let me know. If not, I will refund you. I have no problem doing that at all. So let me know, like, what you want to do, and we'll go for it, okay? All right. So, who else was there? There was Gabrielle. Okay. Okay, I think Gabrielle was first anyway, so let's go with her first while Sam is trying to figure out. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, we can do that then for sure. Okay, I was just making sure because some people do ask for that, and I'm like, I literally can't, I'm not that person for you. But yes, let's go to Gabrielle first though, because she was first, but then we'll go right to you, Sam, okay? No, no worries at all. I'm glad I'm able to do that for you. Okay, Gabrielle. I'm going to let Sam go before we... Oh, okay. Okay, cool. All right, so let's do this, Sam. Okay, so Sam... as long as Sam's cool with it, you know, that's fine. I'm cool with it. Okay, so Sam... So you want me to just kind of look into it, or do you want to tell me any information? You don't have to, of course, but if you wanted to tell me anything, let me know. But if not, I'm just going to go and jump right into it. You said you wanted information on somebody you had lost. So is that just like, you just kind of generally want to see what comes out, or you kind of want to know like what they're thinking or what the future holds? Or like, I mean, what did you like, you know, do you want me to just pull, or do you want to ask it like more specific? What are you trying to understand about this situation? Okay. That's what I need to know. And if you just don't really want to specifically know anything, then we can just look generally. I just want you to get your money's worth and get your question answered. You know what I mean? So it's up to you though. Whatever you want me to know, or whatever you want to specifically know, what the future holds. Gotcha. Okay. Sounds good. So what does the future hold between these two? This person that they're not connected to anymore, that they would like to know what's going to happen in the future. Is there going to be any kind of connection? I want to see what is between these two. I want to see what is the connection between them left. Like, what is left between them energy wise? What do we see happening in the future? Any kind of connection at all as time goes by in the next days, months, weeks, and years to come? What do we see energetically between these two happening? What is the next kind of energetic thing we see happening between them? Oh, look at that. The Empress. So yeah, I do think that there will be something happening again. It's the birth of something here. Beautiful potential, lots of potential here, like a new beginning with a lot of potential. And it also could mean pregnancy, so be careful with that if that's something that's possible for you. If it's not, obviously disregard it. But if it is, then definitely be careful, or congratulations. I mean, whichever you want to look at it. But 10 of Cups too. So, I mean, basically here, though, it's a new, beautiful beginning, new possibility, new potential here. So I definitely think you guys will reconnect at some point, for sure. And then the 10 of Cups is here. So again, that potential is strong. Like there's a heavy level of potential within this Empress. It's not just like, oh, hey, we're going to connect again. But no, we're going to connect and there's going to be like 10 cups here. Like that's the best you can do. So I'm not just saying that, like, you know, I feel kind of skeptical about it too because of how positive it is. Like, it's not always this positive, my readings, trust me. But I wouldn't bullshit you, positive or negative. I wouldn't bullshit you. So this is what's coming out. There's got to be a reason for that. Let's see what else we can see here. What else do we need to know about this beautiful beginning with the 10 of Cups between this person and Samuel? What do we need to know? Did that not fall out? Oh, yep, it fell all the way over here. Okay, beginning stages of a project. It could be young earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Or the beginning stages of a project, like the beginning stages of some kind of endeavor, some kind of like maybe stability, structured kind of project or things that you guys are going in on, maybe a relationship even. Yeah, he was close, but it was a third-party situation and it didn't end well. Okay, got you. So let's see. Anything else we need to know? It says you know exactly what it's referring to here. It says your intuition is strong here. Listen to it in this situation. But also when the High Priestess comes out, when I'm reading for somebody, it's telling me that this person knows what I'm referring to. Like they get what I'm saying. They understand what that means, or it's making sense. So I feel like intuitively you kind of know what this is referring to, or that this makes sense. But also I would say, like, keep your intuition strong. Keep listening to it. Don't disregard it, obviously, in this situation. Somebody's pushing somebody away and getting a bit defensive. in this situation too, it's like, it's not necessary. Like this person on this hill here, like all these wands down here, they're all this person's wands, like throwing them down at whoever they feel like is the enemy or against them. And usually that's not the case. Like I feel like whatever the situation is here between you that happened, that separated you guys, it was probably something that really was not necessary to really separate you guys. Like it may have felt that way, obviously, but I think that somebody is taking it the wrong way. Like you think somebody's against you when really they just disagree with you. And that doesn't mean they're against you or totally not for you. It just means that they, at the time, just were not in the same, did not agree with whatever you were trying to do, or whatever, vice versa. But it doesn't mean you guys had to like be totally enemies. You know what I mean? I think it's a little far here, a little bit paranoid for somebody to think like, you want the worst for me, fuck you, like stay away, I'm going to protect myself and stay on top of this hill and throw my wands down at you because you're a threat to me. I don't think it was necessarily so heavy like that. See, Six of Swords, somebody's backing away and moving and making distance, here. So that issue could be brought up again here, and I feel like it has a beautiful new beginning here, but then this issue gets brought up again, and that needs to be addressed. That needs to seriously be addressed if you guys don't want to have the same, separation again. So let's see what we can do here. Somebody needs to take authority, Aries here, but also the Emperor. Somebody needs to take authority and just say, look, this is what needs to be done. I'm going to take control of this. Like, this is what needs to happen. I'm going to address this straight up, straightforward, like directly. We're not going to like beat around the bush here. We're not going to like try to read each other's minds. No, this is what needs to be done. This is my issue with the situation. You can tell me how you feel about it. Let's work this out. Like actually let's take responsibility for this and let's both meet each other halfway. And somebody is trying to take the easy way out and not do that. Somebody is still hiding something or beating around the bush or just kind of just not saying exactly how they feel. Like they're sneaking something. Like I feel like it's more than like not really like the Seven of Swords stealing type of thing or like being shady, but just the Seven of Swords like sneaking and hiding and not being direct. Like Aries here, the Emperor here is like straightforward. I'm going to handle my shit and I'm telling you straight up and I'm going to take responsibility for my part. And they want you to do the same thing in order for this to be like a reciprocated, energy so that we can be on the same page and work this out. And this person's like, I'd rather not. Like, I'd kind of just rather like not really say exactly how I feel for whatever reason. But somebody is not on the same page with that. And so let's see what happens here. And I feel like it's just somebody hiding how they really feel, maybe out of fear. They're just not used to saying something directly. They fear rejection. They fear whatever. I don't think it's like they're trying to be shady, but it's just not the same as what you're willing to provide. Or maybe it's you who's trying to hide how you feel for whatever reason. Maybe you just don't feel comfortable and they feel like you're not on the same level in what you're willing to provide to make this right. So there's issues there. Ace of Cups here. So there is a strong level of, this emotional tie here, this connection. There's a strong level of connection, a lot of potential happiness here too that can be fulfilled here. I mean, it's an overflowing cup. Like your cup is not even full. It's like overflowing. There's potential. Aces are opportunities. Okay. So as human beings, we have free will and we can miss opportunities. We can. It's not like this is what it is and you'll get it. No, you have to take the opportunity. You have to strike while the iron's hot. And I feel like somebody's going to be looking back with regrets, like looking back like, look, this could have been something so beautiful, so great, a lot of potential here. Whatever the connection is, it was strong. And I feel like there was something that we missed out on. Like, and somebody, whoever this is, if it's you and it's you, you need to look at this before it happens so that you don't allow it to get in the way. Because if you're not saying exactly how you feel, how can you resolve this? You know what I mean? You need to put it all out there, straight out on the line. And if it's not you, and you're the Emperor here, you're the one who's going to be direct and straightforward, no issue with that at all, then you need to if you really care about this, then I think it's also your responsibility here. The Emperor, he said he's going to take control, he's going to take action, and he's going to, be responsible for making this shit go down and be direct and make it happen and resolve this issue. Then okay, then you need to also be the person to recognize, look, I think this person's withholding something and I need to bring it to their attention and say, look, if you want to make this right, you have to tell me the truth. And if I want to make it right, so I'm telling you the truth, it's hard for me too, but you need to do the same thing. And I'm not trying to make you feel bad or whatever, however you need to say it, but just kind of bring it to their attention. Like, I think you're withholding something. I think there's something I don't know. And I think you need to be more clear. I don't think you're meeting me halfway. Like, don't be ashamed of it. Let's just figure this out. Like, I think that's what we need to do. And if we don't, it's not going to get figured out. You know what I mean? Like, take authority in that way too. If you feel like they're withholding or they're just not able to meet you in the same place that you're at, you need to like really take authority here. Even when they tell you what they need to say, you need to be like, I call bullshit. Like, you're not saying everything. You know, you need to tell me exactly what's up, or exactly what you think we need to do, or exactly how you feel about this, because if you don't, we're not going to be able to work this out. There's always going to be hidden shit that we don't know what's going on, and blah, blah, blah. So I'm ready to fucking put it all behind me, and if you are too, let's just fucking do it. Like, let's just put it all out there and put it all behind us, you know? So somebody's very direct, and somebody's kind of not ready to do that yet. But whoever isn't ready to do that yet, the other person that's direct needs to be able to do that even more, so that they can be more direct. You know, I think this could work out. I mean, the Ten of Cups here in the beginning tells me like there's so much that could be, especially with the Empress. It's like this will you'll have the chance for this to like come around again, and there's a lot of happiness that can be you know, made here, or that can be whatever that can happen. And then with the Ace of Cups too, it's like there's a lot of potential here, but there's also a lot of just that little like lack of honesty, or that little like withholding or holding back, or just whatever the fuck that is. Like, somebody needs to just let it go and just fucking be real, and then you're good. You know, I feel like this can be resolved, but that same issue will come up again. And then when that happens, you both need to just be able to like put it out there and let it go, you know, because if not, it's just not going to be resolved. You know, like, if it hurt, fine, great, put it out there, let each other know, and then get over it. You know what I mean? Like, there's 10 of Cups there. Like, you're gonna miss out on that because you just don't want to say you were hurt by something. Like, just say it, you know, if it's you or if it's that other person. I mean, and if you really care about this, then maybe you could be that person double when that person tries to not, you know, be direct like you are, and you just got to let them know, like, look, I feel like you're not saying everything that you need to say, and you just need to do it, because I don't want to feel like I didn't address something here. Like, if we're going to let this go, we can't have pent up feelings about this. I hope that makes sense to you. That's strongly what I'm feeling with that. So hopefully that makes sense to you, and hopefully you are able to make that happen there. Be able to either be real or make the other person be real. You know what I mean? So, Gabrielle, thank you, Sam, by the way. That was pretty clear to me. And Gabrielle, are you ready, love? Let me know if you're ready. And we'll go ahead and do yours as well. Okay, right on. Okay. No problem, Sam. Thank you. Thank you. Gabrielle, what will help me find my spark again in regards to art? in a period of healing have come a long way, but recently it has been difficult to create art. I'm wondering what the cards say. Thank you. Nice. Okay. Well, yeah, when we all go through things, any kind of like artistic or spiritual or creative pursuits kind of take a back seat, or sometimes they flourish. Sometimes like going through shit really makes, sparks your creativity, but sometimes it kind of puts a damper on it. So that sounds normal. Let's see what the cards say about any kind of spark coming back to life. Anything you can do in regards to that. I first and foremost just feel like you need to clear your energy, get some meditation going, get some sage going, get some, maybe some self-affirmations. I mean, just start like having some different self-talk and some energies like that you are practicing daily to get a different energy in yourself going and in the house or wherever you're at doing this art, Hang on a second. Seven of Pentacles. Okay. Just showing you this first. Yeah, so it's going to take a long time, or maybe it's been a long time coming so far already. Maybe this has been a while that you've been in this state, and now it's like, okay, well, what's going to happen next? Like, you've had to patiently just watch yourself kind of, blockage, it feels like. Yeah, time and energy have been delegated elsewhere. And you've been watching and waiting for this time to just finally come, for this garden to grow and for you to kind of like get past this and be able to find that like spark, as you would call it, again. You're kind of patiently waiting. You're like, okay, I've been patient. When is it that's why you're here, obviously. So tell me more about this. It's been a long time coming, so it's gonna come soon. What does she need to do? What does she need to know about what she needs to do? And what can she do to help herself to create this spark again? This inspiration. Remove the blockage so that she can create art again. Feel inspired to do so. Seven of Cups. You have a lot of options. You have a lot of options here. So many different options. Too many options almost. That's probably what's almost difficult about it as well. But just know you're not out of options. You do have a lot of options. A lot of ways you can approach this is what I mean. So that's good. I mean, there's so many things you could do. But some of these things are a bit unrealistic. Like maybe in some ways you are expecting too much from yourself. You're being too hard on yourself, You're instead of like understanding or being compassionate with yourself about what you've been going through and why you've had a blockage, you've kind of been being hard on yourself. And I don't mean all the time. Like, obviously you had just explained it to me in that way. So obviously you do realize that it's, you're being a bit compassionate and understanding towards yourself. But I think sometimes, more often than not, you've maybe needed to do that where you hadn't. And maybe that's why it's taken a bit longer, because you just haven't, there's a lot of options, but the ones that you're going towards are the ones that are a bit unrealistic, and maybe you're expecting too much out of yourself. Like you're expecting more than is reasonable out of yourself, and then you're failing and you're feeling like you just aren't good enough. But it's not really that you're failing. It's just maybe you're not giving yourself enough time, or you're not giving yourself like the freedom and the energy and the space to really let it develop into what it can actually be. You're kind of just like putting a deadline on it, or like thinking it's not good enough too soon, and maybe there's something there still. Like, I don't know if you're the kind of person that does art that you like if you screw up, like if it's drawing or something and you screw up, you don't like throw it away, but you keep it because that like you can fix it and turn it into something else. Like some people, like my brother draws, and one of my really good friends draws and paints, and she does art. And that's what they both said, is that like you never just throw it away. You never think it's just ruined, because you could always fix it. You could always turn it into something. Like they both said that. So I feel like, I don't know if that's how you feel as well, but maybe that's something you need to start looking at and considering doing, because I feel like there's something that maybe you just jumped the gun, or kind of like expected too much out of it, or I don't know if you threw it away already, or even if it's just like a song or whatever it is that the art you do, the creative endeavor that you're into, or whatever it is that you are talking about. I think maybe there's still something in that, something you can go back to and create something out of, and you just didn't look at it that way, but maybe you can now. Okay. Okay, and then Five of Swords. Okay. Five of Swords. Seven of Swords. Ooh. 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 Ooh, okay. An Eight of Swords. Either this is in regards to someone else, a person who is shady. Maybe they were jealous of you or out to get you, or they just kind of wanted they were a bully, or they saw you doing well and wanted to tear you down, wanted to take it away from you, maybe. Like literally wanted to take it from you because they didn't want you to have it, because they wanted it for themselves and they were bitter about that. It could be that, or it could be you literally like not able to speak your, like you kind of didn't, you took the easy way out, or you kind of like pushed something to the side and you weren't like direct and straightforward about it with yourself or with someone else or with people, whoever, whatever it's talking about. It's saying like you kind of took the shortcut way, and that fucked you over, because then now you feel stuck in the situation you're in because you didn't just directly go and approach it in a direct way. So in this, but the Five of Swords here makes me feel like there's a bitter and resentful person who does not want the best for you, like sees you doing well and does not like that, does not want that, wants to take that from you and wants to ruin that. So I feel like that could have been part of the trauma that has created the blockage. It could be the other person that was jealous, maybe try to steal something from you. But if it's not, then I would say maybe it's your own bitter and resentful self that kind of took that from you and made it the situation it is now. You know, there was some kind of like bitter and resentful person, and it could have been yourself. But whatever that energy was, ew, it's nasty. It's nasty. But now we have the situation here where there's that Eight of Swords where somebody feels stuck and like they have no choice, like their hands are tied and like they have nothing they can do. Like they have that blindfold on, their hands are tied, all those swords around them. The cool thing about the Eight of Swords, though, is that it's really a self-imposed restriction. So if you could just forgive yourself for that moment, either that moment of allowing somebody to control you in that way, or make you feel like that, or like make you feel like they had power over you like that, or forgive yourself for being that bitter person yourself, whatever the case was. If you could just forgive yourself for that moment and lift the fucking blindfold off and see that these swords around you are just sticking in the ground. They're not stopping you from anything. They're just there as basically a threat, as intimidation. But really, you're just keeping yourself there. You know, your swords are thoughts. It's mental energy. So when we have the Eight of Swords there, it's that girl with her hands tied. She feels like she thinks that she's stuck, but she really isn't. She's not stuck. Truthfully, like the reality of it is that she could just walk away at any time. Like literally she could just get up and she could walk away because her ankles are still free. She can walk away, but she thinks that she's stuck there. So it's self-imposed restriction. You're keeping yourself stuck there with your own thoughts. And so that's something you need to forgive yourself for that and release that and be able to say, hey, look, I want a new beginning. I want a new start. I fucked up maybe a little bit, or I allowed this person into my life. I didn't protect myself in certain ways. Hey, we're all human. Like we don't know whenever somebody's going to do that. And it is what it is. It doesn't mean I'm any less worthy. It doesn't mean I deserve that. It doesn't mean I deserve it again. It doesn't mean that like I need to be afraid now. It means that, look, I went through something and now I'm stronger. And now I have more to fucking show for it. You know, now I have more to create and more to help other people with, perhaps, you know. You said I did just cut ties with someone. My journey is making a career in art. Has been a story so far. Crazy ride. Thank you. I took a step back from pursuing tattooing and painting. I'm trying to save money and focus on becoming independent. Good for you. Yeah. Awesome. That's really cool. Tattooing. Ooh, that can be drama. From what I know, which I don't know that much, but just from what I've heard about places like that. I don't know if all of them are like that, but that's funny. I wonder if that's what you're talking about. But, so somebody was jealous. Somebody did not want you to do well then, huh? And you just have to keep your guard up and like, not to where you're closed off, but just know that your shit's good. And if somebody wants to bring you down, yeah, because you're fucking good at what you do. You know, like, yeah, they want to fucking bring you down. It's not going to be the first person. It's not going to be the last. I've had 3 apprenticeships, lost from a relationship, a house fire, and lack of transportation. Holy shit. A house fire? Oh my god. Damn, that sucks. I decided to create a stable foundation before going back to it. Well, that's probably a solid idea. That's probably a really smart move. Yeah, that's shitty though. But 3 apprenticeships. So you'll get more. You'll get more. So you must be good then at what you do. Which obviously, but you know, you must be good at what you do if you already had that many opportunities. And you'll get more. So yeah, you're just getting back to it. You know, this is just the beginning. I believe in you completely. There's nothing to say that you should be worried or afraid of anything. Just fucking get back into it, you know? Start doing what you love again. Start feeling like yourself again, you know? That'll be the best thing. The devil here, there is some kind of toxic energy. Unless there's a Capricorn too who could be a toxic energy as well, but that's coming out. The Lovers, Gemini. So I have Gemini and Capricorn here coming out. But look too, the Lovers. It could be something that you love, but something that's toxic too. And like the Lovers, you know, there's a good and bad to everything. It's like the conflicting, you know, the good and the pros and cons. Like there's good and bad. There's bad and good. There's pros and cons to every situation. In this situation, there's a shit ton of pros and cons. You know, there's both. There's things that are good about this that I love, and then there's things that are fucking shitty about this. Why is there a Capricorn and Gemini in the situation? Is that what's going on? Yeah, but there's something toxic about it that you love, or there's something that you love that's toxic. Well, I'm here for you if you need it. I was going to say about this, also the Death card, which would be Scorpio. Or just an ending or a drastic change here. So then the Six of Wands. Wow. Okay. I just got your donation. Thank you, Gabrielle. Let's look into this for you. Capricorn, be right back. I'm going to send you another 5. Got it. Okay, thank you. I did receive it. Right on. Okay. So, a Capricorn and a Lover, apparently, right? And there was an ending or a drastic change. Drastic change or an ending. And then we have somebody getting attention or needing attention or wanting attention or praise or some kind of, maybe it got a lot of attention, like the breakup or the ending of it got a lot of attention, like a lot of drama. A lot of people on your side, though. Like there's a lot of people on your side. But then with the 6 of Wands too, there's also those few people who are jealous, who are talking shit. You know, everyone's praising you, right? But then there's those few in the back that are like, this bitch. You know what I mean? There's those few jealous people that you got to watch out for, which I wouldn't pay too much attention to, like, because you can't do anything about that. Like, there's always going to be haters, especially if you're doing really well in life. But especially if there's no reason to hate on you, of course you're going to have haters, because people are just hateful like that. They just don't like to see people doing well when they're not happy with themselves. They don't appreciate that. They're fucking bitter. And it's not your fucking problem. You know what I mean? It's not your problem at all. So just don't even try to worry about that. But, you know, sometimes we do. But just saying, there's some kind of the separation or whatever the shit went down with this devil character, which the devil is Capricorn, strangely enough. I don't know why. It's just that way. The devil is Capricorn in the tarot, which is weird because I'm not even going to go there with that because that's just stupid, but never mind. That's not even at all what it's... That is weird, though. I'm not even going to speak that. Anyway, so... the devil, Capricorn, the Lovers, then the Death card. And then we have the 6 of Wands, which is attention, a lot of attention, or a lot of somebody paying attention. There's a lot of like drama and people know about it. You know, there's a lot of like talk about it. There's a lot of attention on it. It's kind of like you can't walk through town without somebody knowing the fuck what's happened and just being like all up in your shit. And it's annoying, I'm sure. And there's a few haters, but I feel like most people are on your side about it. I feel like most people took your side on it. Best friend of 5 years, we got together Christmas Day, but then he went to jail for something I'm not morally okay with. I decided to break up with him today. Oh, wow. Yeah, and people know about it too, don't they? Or there's attention on it for some, like, people know about it. I feel like people are talking about it. People are aware of it. And people mostly take your side on it. Like, they agree with you. Maybe that's what it's saying, is that they agree with the position that you take on it. He's in jail. He's been my best friend for a long time. I feel guilty and sad, but decided to choose myself. He didn't make it easy. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Just the way you said that, it's like, yeah, you felt that. He didn't make it easy. Well, it seems like a lot of people would agree with you with the decision you made, so I feel like it must have been difficult, but you probably did the right thing in that regard. I mean, it's up to you, whatever the right thing is. That's your choice, but I feel like a lot of people would have agreed. Yes, I cut myself off from it and feel kind of cold-hearted. Right, but the thing is, I think a lot of people would agree with you, you know? Maybe his family or his close friends might be the ones in the background like, oh, yeah, she's so cold. But really, when it comes down to it, you know what's right and what's wrong, and if you're not okay with it, I mean, that's what my heart said to do. I can't command love. And that's the case, you know? I mean, it seems like you're pretty understanding that you did the right thing and there's not much you can do about that. Like, you doing something different would be like going against yourself completely, and that's just not something that you feel comfortable doing. So I think you made the right decision in that regard, you know? I mean, it feels best, feels right, then there's no argument, you know? It's just him who fucked up, and he doesn't want you to fucking not be in his life anymore. But it's like, he fucked up, and that's on him, you know? That's what he did. That's not what you did. That's what he did. You're just reacting to what he did. You don't have to be okay with what he did if you're not okay with what he did. And he doesn't have to be okay with that, you know? But it's, at the end of the day, it's what he did that created that, not what you did. But yeah, I feel like that would be really hard either way. But, so what are we wanting to know? So what are we looking into here for you? Because I'm just rambling now, but I mean, I'm not just like, I mean what I'm saying, but I'm just, you know, if you want to know what the cards have to say about something, I don't really know exactly what we're asking. He's attached a lot. He's very dependent emotionally, and it's heavy to feel. Like that it's on you, that it's your responsibility. And you're like, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like, I'm sorry. How will this pan out? I'm just trying to see exactly how we should ask that, because, like, how will this pan out? Like, will you guys stay together, or how will it pan out for him in regards to being locked up, or, like, what exactly are you asking about that you would like to know how it's going to pan out? Because I just want to make sure we get your question answered, you know? Like, you could be like, no, I'm not even talking about that. I mean, I'm talking about this. And so, like, what exactly do you want to know? What will be, but of what? Like, okay, what will be the overall outcome of, like, your guys' relationship, or, like, of what's up with him and his situation, or, like, both? Let's just go with both. Of our connection in general, okay. So let's see, as the next days, months, for days, weeks, months, and years play out, what do we need to know about this connection? What's left between these two? What do we need to know about this connection? What's left between these two? What's left between these two in regards to, do we need to know anything? What's going to happen between these two? What's the next step for these two? What's going to happen? What's going to play out? We need to know about the connection energetically. What's left between them energetically? What's is left between them energetically. What do we need to know about stay out here between them? It's time to find here. Are they still going to be connected? Or is something going to happen? Is there going to be a separation? Or do we see them still connected as time goes on here? Yeah, between them both is going to be. What's the situation going to be in the next days, weeks, months, and years? What is the connection going to be? What's the energy between? Three of Pentacles, Three of Swords, and Four of Swords. Okay, so first of all, it looks like you guys are starting off in a collaborative, cooperative, like working together, exchanging of ideas. Maybe you're helping him to get through some things or kind of work some things out, make figure out a plan, an idea, a plan of action, some kind of like method of going about whatever his situation is, or maybe the whatever situation between you. You guys will at first be like kind of helping each other in that way, and very like cooperating, collaborating, and really kind of working together to try to figure out some kind of issue or resolve some kind of issue or come to, reach some kind of common goal. And so that's good. Exchanging of ideas here and collaboration. But then we see the Three of Swords, and then we see the Four of Swords, which tells me there's some kind of heartbreak or some kind of loss. And then there's a separation. Temporary, like whenever the Four of Swords comes out, it's usually a temporary, like it's not forever. It's not like death. It's not like ending forever for good. It's usually temporary. So I feel like it's a rest period. It's a break between you guys, but then it definitely has the possibility to come back together later on down the line, however long that is. But I feel like that could be representative of, you guys are working together to try to figure out a situation as best as possible, but then possibly he's, they come up with a verdict, and then there's some distance between you because of that. Obviously there needs to be, because he's going away for a while or whatever the case is. That could be one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it, definitely though, like I see there's a separation or there's some kind of break period, whether that's, whether that happens because of something external that is, some kind of circumstance that, he needs to, like he has to go away for a while, and you guys really, it's not your guys' choice really, or maybe it's one of your guys' choice and you decide to make distance, or he does, whatever it is. There's distance, but this is after heartbreak. There's like loss, and there's pain, and there's heartbreak here, and then there's that separation, that temporary separation. So let's see what happens after the temporary separation. So it seems like you guys are working together for like some kind of resolving, like working together to resolve an issue, or come together for like make a plan and try to, you have some kind of goal that you're trying to meet, or, issue you're trying to resolve. And then, it's heartbreaking. You guys have to separate for a while. I feel like that's why, but we'll see. I mean, it could be any reason. Maybe it's a choice by one of you, but I feel like it's more of an external thing that you guys have no choice over really. And that's what makes it harder. But it's a temporary break, so let's see what happens after that. What do we need to know about after this Four of Swords here? The Empress, nice. So, it's talking about a beautiful new beginning, new potential, the birth of something. So it's like a new beginning. So I feel like you guys definitely will come back together after this separation. This is the same thing that Sam got in the last reading I did. This was like they had a separation. So what's going to happen? He got the Empress, which means there's going to be, like, it's very likely, and I feel like it's most likely that there will be a, if I could say for sure, I would, but I can't, because we do have free will and we can change it ourselves at any time. Obviously, you can choose to not allow this, but the cards are saying that there's definitely the possibility for you guys to have a beautiful new beginning, potential for you guys to come back together and make this happen again. Come back together, and who knows if it's friends, lovers, or both, or whatever it is, you guys will never speak to each other again. So let's see what this, what lies here, what we need to know about this Empress here. Thanks for liking this video, you guys, by the way. If you haven't yet, I'd really appreciate that. Okay. Queen of Wands. Somebody's very independent, doing their own thing, self-focused, ambitious. That's good. Probably you. The Emperor. Yeah, this is a relationship here because we're talking about the Empress and the Emperor. The Empress and the Emperor, when those two come out together, that's a relationship. So I feel like you guys are very focused. Like, that would be a good thing. You guys are very self-motivated and determined. The Emperor and the Empress. That's a nice combination right there. And with the Queen of Wands, too, very fiery. It's just somebody who's so ambitious. Somebody who is, it's a connection that's very ambitious and very, like, motivated, determined to get shit done that they need to get done. So nothing's going to stand in your guys' way of getting shit done. King of Wands. Look at that. Look at that. Watch. Just got the Emperor and the Empress. Talk about fiery. Holy shit. The Emperor and the Empress, and the King and the Queen of Wands. I definitely think you guys will come back in a relationship. A power dynamic. Like, look at this shit. Whoa. I've never seen that before. That's never happened. The Emperor and the Empress, and the King and Queen of Wands. Whenever it's the same suit, King and Queen of the same suit, that's a relationship. And it both. And to me, that's fire. That's passion. That's ambition. That's spark. That's the spark you were fucking looking for. No, but you should get that back before this happens. But yeah, definitely I feel like it's going to come back with a bang. Like, no fucking doubt about it. Like, damn. That's definitely fiery. Like, there's no way to really express that in such a way that would really, like, do it justice. But damn, that's fiery. You guys are determined, passionate, fucking ready to go with that shit. I feel like, yeah, you guys probably can't stay away from each other for very long. Like, I mean, that's, like, I don't know why the fuck that is so fiery, but maybe you know. But I don't think you guys will not get back together at some point, or at least be in each other's lives and be like a power dynamic. Like, seriously, for real, like, just like take on the world and shit together. Like, I don't, that's pretty strong. That's crazy. That is crazy, yeah. I'm not sure on my feelings for him. I love him very deeply, but the circumstance brought out the worst in both of us. Right. Exactly. Yeah, that's why it's kind of crazy, because it's almost like, yeah, no, like, nothing's going to keep you guys away from each other unless you guys are destructive to the point where that fire you guys both have in that is going to, like, destroy each other. I mean, that's possible too, but I just don't see that it would come out as the two. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's possible, I guess, but I really don't. Whenever it's two of the same suit, I feel like that's a relationship. I feel like that's more of a good thing. I guess it could be a bad thing, but I've never seen that before. I don't know, I've never seen that before in general, so let's see if we can get anything else just to, like, you know, end this. But let's, you know, I don't want to end it there, because I don't really know what, I mean, like, I feel like that obviously means you guys are going to connect again, and it's going to be fiery, but what is this fire going to be? Is it going to be for better or for worse for these two? Like, what is this fire representative of? Page of Swords, something not being able to be let go of. So yeah, can't get past each other, can't forget about each other, obviously. Nine of Wands. Okay, there's that fear there. There's that fear, the Lovers, and the High Priestess. Okay, it says that you know. So let me explain and then see if you know. It's saying that basically the Page of Swords is like, you cannot forget about this. Like, one foot, you're trying to put 1 foot forward and kind of move forward, but the other foot is set so firmly in the past that, like, you can't move on, and it's holding you back. So it's holding you back to the point where, like, you can't forget about it. You've tried, and you can't. Like, you can't. You've tried and you can't. So the thing is, when you come back together, this Nine of Wands, it's saying basically that there's that fear, like somebody's on high alert, somebody's not too sure how they feel about it, somebody's kind of weary about it, they're not totally trusting it, and they feel like something bad is going to happen. Like, they don't even think, like, if, they think just, like, when. You know, they know it's going to happen, but they just don't know when. Like, they're prepared, they want to be prepared for it, so they're preparing themselves for it. It's not like they're going to, like, hopefully it doesn't, they're pretty fucking sure it is. So you don't feel good about this, like, you don't feel like it's going to be a good thing, but you still go towards it. Like, you don't really trust it, though. And then, you know, you don't trust lover, being with them again in that situation. So, and it says, what that's referring to, the fear, that kind of like being on high alert and being kind of like not sure and like something bad's going to happen. You said, thank you for this read. To be real, I've been hesitant. I know the feelings are there. I feel like I've been an asshole to him because of that. You got to do what's best for yourself at the end of the day. But I feel like, the High Priestess is saying basically, what that means about the fear thing. And so that should make sense to you. But the thing is, too, like, do what's best for yourself. Like, I always tell people, like, if you feel like there's something good for you that you should do, please fucking do it, and if you feel like there's something bad that you shouldn't do, please don't fucking do it. You know what I mean? Like, what's best for yourself. It's not like your life isn't going to be over if you don't decide to do something that later on you feel like you should have done. You know what I mean? Like, just don't put everything into it. Like, it's gonna be all right. If you feel like it's not a good thing for you, I mean, you got to do what's best for yourself, and you shouldn't do it. But if you feel like it's a good thing for you and you just can't not do it, then you can see what happens there. I mean, really, it's not the end of the world. It's up to you. And if you honestly, with how you feel like you shouldn't do it, I mean, maybe you shouldn't. I mean, and it's saying that you're going to have that fear and that hesitation. So, I mean, you got to look into that and see what that is and see is it worth the risk? I mean, that's really on you if it's worth that risk. You know what I mean? But I don't think you should think you're an asshole for that. You have your reasons. You're not an asshole. You have your reasons. I mean, is it just that you're an asshole, or is it that, he did something that wasn't cool that, it's like he has to deal with now, whatever the case is. I mean, I don't think that you should like think that you need to do anything about that. That's his responsibility too, and you're not responsible for that. So do with that what you will, but thank you for your donations, and I hope you got some information there. So I can't deny that connection, though. That's why it's so hard to walk away and read, and that read did validate that. Yeah. Life just throws some shit at you, doesn't it? You're like, fuck, well, what am I supposed to do now? Like, I thought I was going to get past that shit. Maybe I'll unsubscribe from this bitch. No. No, but thank you for your donations. I hope you got some kind of way that you're going to go about that from that, or some kind of understanding of yourself better. So, likes and comments below. I appreciate you guys. And Gabrielle, I hope you work that out, and I hope everything works out for you and you feel okay with that, with your decision, whatever you want to do. Just do what's best for yourself, because there will be other connections and there will be other people that you feel so deeply for that won't do things that you're not okay with, and that would probably be better, But, I trust that you will do what you feel is best for yourself. So with that being said, I'm going to get going, and I appreciate you guys and your donations tonight. Thank you so much. And I will see you guys soon. Okay. I want to see you soon again, Gabrielle. Okay. Let me know what's going on. All right. Have a good night, you guys. Bye.